Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Sons of Kojima Let's Endure. This time, serious update. I need help to keep going, so let's talk with updates. My name is Fred, and I am being joined by a patroness panel, some very generous gentlemen and ladies. First of all, Mr. Fezfuck.
If everyone who just watched this gave me $1, I wouldn't have to worry about anything anymore.
Ooh. Mr. Evil Table.
This guy's hair is greasier than usual.
Oh my goodness, Mr. I Love Bender.
Yesterday I did nothing, and today I'm finishing what I did yesterday.
The financially fit Fizz.
If Phil needs $1, he needs to start stripping.
Woo! And the patron herself, Ms. Prideful Zombie.
For $1 a month, you can help Fizz move out of the airport.
Oh my fucking goodness. Hey, you know what? Play.
Alright, what is going on, everyone? Darkside Phil here with a special vlog. The reason I'm making this vlog is a follow-up to an announcement that I made last week in my weekend preview video. That, quite honestly, I wasn't planning on making
I swear,
this
look at his
It
goddamn
wasn't
hair.
good
He hasn't
news.
washed his friggin' head in like 2 weeks, I swear.
A lot of people were confused. A lot of people wanted elaboration.
Okay, quick pause. Who was confused? Okay, if you guys have been following along on Twitter or anywhere else, I don't understand how he can say that somebody's been confused all week, all right? We are now on Sunday. All week, he has been using his pre-stream to appeal to you. Well, maybe not you in particular, but to the hardcore viewer, to the longtime fan of his. He said exactly what the problem is, that he's fucking broke and that no one's watching his videos and that YouTube's fucked him over and he doesn't know what to do. And the only thing that can help him out is your money. Who was confused? Why would he think to open up with like, oh, you're stupid. You were confused by all this. So let me set the record straight in case you didn't know how broke I am and how much money I need from you.
Because it's not enough of an improvement so far. So you all are stupid.
I also like this little smile he makes after he says this.
Yeah, I don't know where that statement came from. That just confuses me.
Well, I mean, we're all confused. I guess maybe this video will bring us some clarity. We all ready?
Maybe this was just an excuse to make another video.
We'll see about that, Fizz. We'll see.
It's a good thing that we have a few minutes.
All right, let's see. Let's see how many few minutes of which we can endure this.
A lot of people were supportive, which is great. But what I want to do is make a video just on this subject while I have a few minutes tonight.
Oh, a few minutes.
it's
That's
out there
why
so
you
that
said
the
that.
word
All
will
right,
not be spread
pause.
formally
All
in a
right.
video that's not the weekend preview.
So he says a few minutes
Absolutely.
when this video, for those that are not aware, is over an hour long.
Spoilers, Fazzy. Jeez.
An hour that could have been spent doing other stuff, such as, making this a lot more informative and not so just all over the place. Rather than just focusing on a single topic, he just goes everywhere and just... What the fuck is wrong with him?
But Fazzy, you have to understand how passionate he is. I mean, he does the whole arm waving. He looks in the camera. He bugs his eyes out. This is important to him.
Speaking of him bugging his eyes out, that's another great screenshot right there. Holy shit.
Hey, I'll tell you what, he should use this hour to go out and look out for some job applications. That's what he should have done.
Oh, how dare you. He needs an hour of lay-around time for every 30 minutes of work he does a day.
This
All right.
guy, I swear.
Let's continue on.
Preview or something else. It's a video all into itself about what's going on right now with myself and my business. I do have some good news in regards to some stuff going on right now. And I want to give you periodic updates on what's going on because, as you know, I've been on YouTube for 8 years. And I've been doing this as a job since late 2010, early 2011. It's arguable because really I wasn't signed with Machinima as a partner channel or anything like that.
Pause.
Until
All right.
early 2011.
Okay, just a question. What's with the fucking air quotes? Like, why does he have to air quotes fucking machinima. Like, is he not signed with machinima? Is he's like, oh, I just made up machinima. That's who I'm signed with.
It's such a weird distinction to make. Like, oh, I've only been doing this since I've been making money doing it. Like, the years where I just did it, they don't count. So all the shit that we've done doesn't count. It only counts if you're, making money.
Apparently not.
Yeah. All right. Continue on.
And so there's an 8-year legacy on YouTube. And by the way, more videos than probably anyone has uploaded to YouTube besides maybe someone who uploads 5-second clips and spams them like a crazy moron.
That's a pause. So he's now bragging about the fact that he has more videos. Well, I mean, that's not true. I think there's videos like How To, or was it like Help Village or some shit? I don't know. There's like a lot. There's, it's disputable that he has the most videos. It's actually a fact he does not have the most videos. But what does he mean, like spam? Like, you put out 15 videos a day, sometimes more. Especially if you're doing fighting game coverage, you might get 20. That's spam. I mean, shit. People normally put out a video a day is a lot for a channel. That's super active,
Plus, what does that matter that he's putting out so much? Like, his quality sucks anyway. His videos aren't anything to be proud of.
His process allows him to put out all these videos. It has nothing to do with the amount of quality or effort. If he edited his videos and put out that many, then you might be able to say, oh man, he really busts his ass. But like, just to press record, press stop, and upload those,
With a bot, probably, too.
Yeah.
Because they come
and the
out...
fact that... Sorry.
I'm done. Whatever.
Oh, I was going to say, and the fact that he said that people put up like 10-second videos and that's spam. Well, you put up 10-minute videos, like 100 of them a day, and that's not spam. I don't understand how his 10-minute videos, like 10 of them, are different than 10-second videos.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's continue on.
More significant videos, more videos with actual content. I'm probably the most prolific YouTuber on the entire internet. Even though there's other people that have been around as long as me, no one's put out as much hourly long content as I have in the past 8 years.
Okay.
So I've shared my life with you guys and gals for 8.
I don't think anyone would want to put out as much content as you have, simply because, like it was originally said, it's all spam. Nobody wants to have that many videos in their sub box every day. It gets cluttered. It takes up too much time when the person behind the subscription is probably going to be doing something else with that time, so they don't have time to watch your videos. And it's overall incredibly lazy. The way that he does things is absolutely asinine, in the fact that he can just get away with it.
He talks about it. He talks about it as a selling point. Oh, I've had people tell me that I've put out so much content they can't even keep up with all of it. That's a problem.
It's one of the worst things about him. And
Yeah.
he's acting like that's the main selling point for him.
Yeah.
And I think it was Tyler that said yesterday, who has time to watch 20 hours of content? It's just ridiculous.
It really is the case that he has found like the quickest, easiest way to put out the most content. Like it's like machine manufacturing. Like, this is just an assembly line, Yeah, this is not a thing to be proud of. This is not a thing to be happy about. Also, I mean, man, every time we pause, we get a fantastic face.
I was about to make a comment. It's just like, it looks like he's looking at us and saying, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
What do you mean? Edit the videos. What?
That's his drunk on gin face.
Dude, if you like move your head left and right, his eyes like follow you.
Oh, that's creepy.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that is pretty creepy. All right, we got to get past this shit. This is too much.
Freaking years, okay?
Frickin' years.
And let me tell you, there were a lot of sacrifices along the way. My lifestyle completely changed.
Oh, boy.
When I started doing this as a job, I didn't have a lot of free time anymore to go do stuff with friends and things like that.
What friends?
And I think that actually kind of led to the falling apart of
Remember,
a lot of
he
friendships.
claimed Rambo
stuff
and
that I
Howard
had.
were
Not just
online friends.
people who've been on camera with me, but other people as well. Friendships that I had back home and stuff that just kind of dwindled and fell apart as I made YouTube kind of my living.
Pause.
Okay, that's a pause.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead, Prideful.
I was just gonna say friendships fell apart, but he was the one that chose to pick up his business, pick up his life, take his full-time girlfriend with him, and move halfway across the country instead of just leaving where he was. I mean, he was fine where he was.
You want me to give you an example of a time where some of his friendships fell apart because of the business? Let's talk about Project 7, all right? You had two friends from the fight, the FGC, whatever the fuck, you know, they would show up at your house and help you out. And Rambo was a longtime friend and co-content producer, however you viewed him. And you fucked them over because you wanted more money. You did not want to pay Howard at all. You didn't want to pay you didn't want to pay Rambo until he told you that would jeopardize his ability to come and make content with you, so you begrudgingly paid him. You didn't pay Respect the Pack. You told them to fuck themselves. This is you. You have personally burned bridges with two of the, you know, most loyal friends that we know of. I mean, he put his entire life on the internet for how long now? Who are these other friends? Nestor? I mean, he stood up for him when he was cursing out, what's his name? Triforce. Like, you're dead. And shit like that. Like, who else are these people? What are these relationships with people? Chris, the Ariad Lord, he's been demoted to, you know, stream lackey, where he just comes in and plays video games and gets his copy of Jak 3 donated, or not even played, even with Patreon. So, who are these friends he's talking about that he lost? That have to do with strictly the fact that he's too busy. Because the friendships that I know that he lost or put into jeopardy was because of him, his personality, his tendencies, his greed, his ability to be selfish.
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly right there.
I mean, realistically, it's sad too. He's like, yeah, I don't have anything else because of YouTube. So yeah, you should feel bad for me because I ruined everything for you guys. So essentially he's like shifting the blame on his viewers. Like, yeah, I ruined my family and friends, but this was all for you. So you ruined my family and friends.
I became an asshole and a shut-in because of you. Because of me. I treated other people like shit for you guys. Don't you understand? If I hadn't have told Rambo and them that I'm not going to pay them for Project 7, then this couldn't have kept going. I did it for you guys. Everything is to help you. Appreciate me.
That face is perfect right there. He with what you just said.
He looks like he just smelled a Leanna wax tart.
Oh
No, I don't mean that. I mean actual wax tart. You guys are sick-minded.
True.
Let's continue.
Because I needed to sacrifice a lot, you know, putting in so many hours of gaming and covering all the new releases, and even to this day,
Those two are the same thing.
Realize how little of any kind of a social life or anything I really have, because YouTube is my job and this is me and me alone. There's no other person helping me with this. There's no one else who I hire to do video editing. There's no one who uploads this stuff for me. There's no one who monitors my social media. I'm not a team of people like a lot of these other successful gaming YouTube channels, right, that are popping up daily now.
That's probably because you wouldn't pay them.
That's a Pozzerino. So, okay, so first of all, I would like to point out the fact he says, oh, you know, he described the same thing. Oh, I got to play games every day. I got to cover all the new releases. That's one and the same. Your gaming is covering the new releases. You play older games if you get paid for them now, or if there are no new releases, so you're desperate. So those are one and the same. But also, to move on, this guy is saying he doesn't have a staff. Who's your webmaster there? Who's the infamous webmaster who you send all your Patreon your patrons to so that they can get forum access? Who are those staff of people that monitor your stream chat every single day that you give shit to if they don't show up, as though you pay them, that they're obligated to you to show up and do the shit for free? Who are these staff on the forums that ban anybody that gives any sort of criticism or trolls you or anything else like that? You have a team of people who are hired with no pay, no incentive other than just a feeling of power and I guess some imaginary gratitude that you don't even show them, to protect you from criticism, from trolling, from negativity, from anything. So you do have a staff of people that help you. And you don't pay them, you don't hire them per se, but they give you their time. You have people that give you several hours a day, and you're acting as though they don't exist. That's insulting. That's distasteful. If I were those people, the staff at the forums, the mods on the IRC, I would be insulted by that statement that you're just by yourself, because that's not true. All right, let's move on.
Becoming super popular. It's a team of guys, young guys who are all working together, right? I don't have that. I've always been me, myself, and I. Okay, and even today, I wake up. I usually, either shower or whatever I need to do in the morning to refresh myself.
Barely.
Maybe have a drink or a bite to eat. Jump right into work, streaming and working for 3 to 4 hours straight. Not really taking a break, but then setting up all the uploads and everything, which takes a while. Then taking a break to have dinner and do chores around the house within a 1 to 2 hour time frame, so I could rush back to either work on an edited video or work on more streaming and more gameplay for another, 2 to 3 hours, if not longer than that. The edited videos usually take around 4 hours minimum. And then monitoring stuff all night as stuff uploads
Pause for a
and
second.
playlist management and stuff like.
You got it.
We've all seen his style of edited videos. There's no fucking way they should take 4 fucking hours to do. He's like doing the bare necessities for edited videos. And, well, even then, if he's doing the same style of edited videos, he should get faster and faster and faster at it. The fact that it's still taking 4 hours to do is you're talking out of your ass, which is most likely true, or you don't know how to learn and improve on your faults. You just want to blame everything fucking else.
Mm-hmm. When you edit videos for a while, you start to build up a sort of a backlog of assets, right? You can just sort of you Photoshop things like different overlays, different sort of things, text things. You start to build up these assets that you can just use for different things, like his KO Gaming. That's just probably a transparent PNG that he can just slip onto his timeline. He uses Adobe Premiere, from what I understand. I mean, he has the tools and the experience and just the amount of stuff that he's done so far that this should be a streamlined process, And you see, like you said, the quality of his videos. He has very basic text, he has very basic transitions. He has, I don't know where he gets his music from, but I mean, all of it is so basic. He's not doing anything. He's not doing green screen. He's not doing any sort of advanced After Effects. He's not doing really anything of value. It's just, and a lot of times, one of the things that can be time consuming is trying to go through your footage and find relevant clips to sync up with what you're talking about. He doesn't do that either. A lot of the times the footage that's shown during a game review and edited video for KO Gaming, it has nothing to do with what he's talking about. So yeah, I don't know. His game is to act as though his job is harder so that you feel sympathy, and to act like all this time is there so that he can buy himself more lay around time. He values lay around time just to do nothing. Sit around, watch Dragon Ball, fucking watch horror movies, try to get underwear time, I guess. I don't know, but his whole con right now, his scam, his grift is to convince you that this job takes more time than it does. That's his goal. He's a working man. He's working hard. Did you guys appreciate that?
Well, it's his 9-to-5 job, so you need to make sure that you understand how hard he works for you.
Well, I think you should understand it's more like a noon to 5 job for Mr. Phil, actually. He starts at noon his time, and he gets done around 4 his time. So actually, it's a noon to 4. How dare you propose a 9 to 5? He works a noon to 4, okay?
But hey, that noon to 4, that's very hard. I mean, he has to record video games, upload them to YouTube, try to get underwear time. It's probably harder than construction work, guys. Come on.
He's a full-time babysitter, too. I mean, he has to provide supervision, so,
yeah, I hate that part of his stupid thing where he says it takes work when he talks about uploading. It's like, how is that part difficult? All you do is you click a button, you drag a file into there, and then you just go take a piss, and then it's done.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that part of the thing is hard at all.
And
Tyler,
YouTube,
have you seen his desktop? You can't find anything on that shit.
yeah. YouTube partners also have software that helps them with this type of thing, helps them aggregate different tags that are useful, helps them with thumbnails, all this kind of shit. I've actually seen, I had a friend that, when we were talking about all this business shit, we got on like this kick where we wanted to like educate ourselves because we were talking so much about the business side that because we don't do it ourselves, we had to ask a lot of questions. And I talked with a lot of different YouTubers, some that were with Machinima. And I actually saw a recruitment video, or not a recruitment video, but a recruitment email, sort of to get some context on like how these things work and what they offer you when they email you and stuff like that. And they talk about in these sort of emails to solicit you and to try to get you to sign with them, they brag about not only like, oh, license to all our free music and sure you can use all this, that, but they also talk about this software that will help you do all this stuff. Basically automates all this for you. And someone like Phil, he doesn't have unique titles for everything. I mean, it's not like he's vlog going out to this event or anything like that. It's Fallout 4, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. That's the easiest shit to automate. Like, this isn't rocket science. This isn't difficult. So you're absolutely right. What he's describing to you is just, again, trying to make it seem like this is difficult. This is time consuming. You should respect him as a man because he's laboring away. And it takes so long that you need to respect his lay around time. I'm telling you right now, that's going to be the theme of this video, is lay around time, and that this is so much harder than, it's so much harder than you think, guys. Come on. We are 3 minutes in. We are making great time. Let's continue.
Like that. I really don't have a lot of free time to myself. Maybe an hour or two a day where I
hour!
sit down with my
Free
girlfriend and
time.
watch TV or
Pause.
talk or do whatever,
Okay, this guy plays video games for a living, and you said that, yeah, 4 hours a day, and he really wants to whine about not having free time. Jesus Christ.
He has an hour. He's trying to tell you that he has an hour. Dude, you can go on his Twitter or his Instagram and you can check out what he's saying. He usually sits down to go hang out with Leanna, and which is literally them just sitting on the opposite ends of a sectional fucking couch. Okay? They go and they sit there and they watch Dragon Ball, some stupid fucking movie. They watch the movie all the way through. What is he talking about an hour? You can go look. He's fucking talking from, like, I don't know, let's put it in his time. So, okay, he starts at noon, which frankly he starts at like 12:30, but he starts at high noon. All right, he stops at 4. He says he goes to eat dinner, whatever the fuck. What does he do from 6 to midnight when he goes to bed? He's usually tweeting until like, midnight, 1 a.m. his time. He has free time, realistically, and we're counting from 4. So let's say he eats dinner. As soon as he stops at 4 o'clock, he eats dinner. Okay, he gets done at like 5. From 5 to midnight, from 5 to 1 a.m. is all free time. So how does he come up with an hour? This guy spends more time laying around the house than he actually does playing video games, which he's referring as work.
Now during the morning, doesn't he like wake up at like 11:30 in the morning or something?
Yeah, I mean he starts working. He literally like rolls out of bed and goes downstairs, gets a Mountain Dew fucking energy drink, morning version, eats a fucking donut, or goes and gets a croissant from Burger King or some shit. I don't know. Eats a bowl of frozen cereal. This guy has so much time. And again, I really want to put this into perspective for you guys. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this kind of day. All right? Really, I want you to think about this kind of day. This would sound like a day, like you're like a Saturday or a Sunday, or a day off, like a day on vacation. Okay? You wake up around noon, you play video games for 4 hours, you get some dinner, and then you sit around the house for the rest of the day and watch movies and shit and hang out with your girlfriend. That sounds like a fucking lazy-ass day, doesn't it? That sounds like a day on vacation. Maybe you go out and get some groceries or some shit, but this is a day of work for this is Phil hard in the trenches, slaving away. This is what Phil refers to as a difficult day of work.
And keep in mind, we know he has free time before the streams because he always likes to jerk off.
It's mind blowing how unappreciative he is for what he has, and the fact that he has to try to convince you that what he does, he knows that this is a big fucking scam, that this is so difficult to do. I would like for anyone to try to reach out to me if I'm wrong. Okay, if you can tell me, if you can give me some sort of information to show me how what he does is so difficult, I'd love to see it. Because from what we've seen, from what he says himself on record, and from what he does, he works from 12 to 4. Maybe it takes him a half hour to get all these things loaded up onto YouTube to upload, but you don't have to do anything while the videos are uploading. He just picks random thumbnails. He doesn't make custom thumbnails for each video. All right? He clicks a couple things to put it in a playlist. He doesn't edit shit. And he's got from 4 to 1. And that he's not streaming.
I mean, he sure as hell thinks it's hard work. Look at his face again. He looks exhausted.
All right, let's continue.
No. Everything else is the business, and it always has been like that. And it's funny because people say, "Oh, Phil does not do all this stuff that other YouTubers do." Yeah, because I can't, because I'm one man. I don't have a team of people working for me. I never made enough money to hire anyone to work for me to make my stuff big and popular like these other big guys did, right? All the people with high production values, these giant comedy skits, these highly edited videos with scripted comedy over stuff. I can't do that. I couldn't do that. It's not possible because I'm one man, okay?
Well, didn't he try to do the green screen stuff for a while, and all of a sudden he just stopped doing that? Like, stopped doing the animated stuff and stopped doing the stuff that was all the extra animations and skits and stuff because he just got tired of doing it and editing it and all that?
He just got lazy.
He just doesn't want to do it. It's cutting into his free time.
His lay-around time.
That.
What'd you say, Table? Sorry?
He ditched the green screen. Remember when he had that for like, 1 month?
He blamed it on the detractors, too. He's like, "Oh, you fucking detractors are going to fuck me over if I use the green screen, so fuck you."
I thought he had that set up in his garage still from the condo or the new house tour.
It was in the garage last time I knew. I don't know if he took it down or what, but yeah, he set it up in the garage, and then, it's a 2-car garage, and he has his super necessary BMW there, the brand new one, so taking up one slot in that garage. So yeah, he has the free space to keep it up. I don't know if it's still up now, but yeah, the last time he recorded his garage, it was there. The lighting.
Maybe Leanna told him to take it down so she could put her car in the garage. Now she has the actual license.
No, she just drives the Beamer.
Yeah, she's probably gonna take that when she leaves him too.
Yeah, she's taking that immediately. That's the number one thing she's taking. But it's not even his, so the bank will be taking that. All right, let's continue.
So all that being said, I made an announcement last week that unfortunately my business is not in a good position right now.
No, it's not.
What happened was, as you know, last year I was actually in a good position. It looked like I had kind of plateaued. I was right here all of last year, 2015, and all of a sudden false copyright strikes hit my channels. Not just DSP Gaming, but also this channel, the King of Hate Vlogs, forcing me to remove pretty much every pre-stream video ever because they found a loophole in YouTube system where they could flag artwork, which is bullshit. I had legal permission to use any artwork that was ever used in any of my videos, but they abused the system and filed false copyright claims against me, and YouTube basically is not like the American...
Regarding to what he said about the legality of being able to use those, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think just posting it onto a forum without having any kind of agreement signed in paper or anything discussed counts as being 100% legal.
Yeah, it's not like a contract, you know what I mean? Yeah, if he puts up a forum post that says post your art for pre-stream and then you just post it, that's not like a contract. Like, yeah, okay, that's sort of it's a dick move. It's a dick move to then, but I mean, we've beat this to death. It's like he went and he gave blanket permission for people to use his videos in montages, and This How You Don't Plays. When this How You Don't Play. I mean, and this too. The copyright strikes that he had came after he started this campaign to go after our videos, have Machinima take them down. He took down the first one himself. He was talking in the chat, ha ha ha, we're gonna get all those This I Don't plays down and kiss those goodbye, those are done, ha ha, and shit like that. And it built a sort of a vibe where people were like, oh, I see, you're gonna do copyright strikes. Well, you know what? I don't like the way you handled Patreon and shit. I'm not a fan anymore. I'm going to retract my permission, just like you retracted your permission for people to use your footage to make montages of deaths like you did for Spider-Man when you said that. Just like when a person in the chat asked you if they could use your footage for something, and he said, you could use my footage for whatever you want, as long as it's not just a blatant re-upload. And he retracted that with no notice. He retracted his permission to use the shit based on how he felt at the time. And other people did that back to him. Apparently, when they do it to him, because he has more to lose than a non-monetized channel, that's some sort of crime. That he got back exactly what he was doing to other people.
Posting fan art on that old forum, there was absolutely no terms of service or any kind of condition laid out anywhere that they had no ability to retract their permission for him to use it.
And they could. They weren't compensated. He had no, like, that was based on the goodwill between him and the other person. Basically, the agreement was, I like you, Phil. I'm a fan of you and I support you, so here, use this art. That agreement changed. If you give someone money and they have that value, you can't just change it. You know, I gave you $50 for this picture, so you can't just tell me I can't use it anymore. You have a claim to that. But if it's just like this fucking handshake agreement, like, oh, we're friends, so you could use it as long as we're friends or as long as I like you. Well, if I don't like you anymore, then the terms changed. Maybe if he would fucking compensate these people, he'd have a better claim to say, you can't fucking do that to me. But, I mean, yeah, it's a dick move. You know what I mean?
It's a dick move, but when it comes to copyright, there is one golden rule. You gotta get it in writing. That's like right. One of the first things they teach you about copyright in school. That's you have to get it in writing. You need some form of physical evidence. You cannot just say, oh, he gave me permission, and you have nothing to show. Just saying, oh, he put it on my forum is not good enough.
And
you have to put some value. You have to put some value on it with either a contract. Money would help.
Compensation. That's the big thing. I mean, the culture of the way that it is with the internet and stuff, the way things can be reproduced and shit like that. You know, a lot of times you got to get compensation for these things for it to be legit. You know, people on all these different art sites and shit like that, they want compensation because they know that shit can just get yanked whenever, and they need to actually have some sort of agreement in place.
Right, because the compensation makes their stance legally on the matter stronger.
Exactly. And that's the thing, Phil. This is all business for Phil, right? This is legitimate business, and if he's gonna make money off of other people's shit, he needs protection, and paying them would have been that sort of protection. But you know, he didn't do that, and so. I mean, if it went to court, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a specialist in that field, but I mean, if it went to court, I don't know what would happen. But with YouTube's system, you know, the claims he's also, by the way, I'd like to point out, these claims didn't go through. They weren't permanent. He appealed them and they were overturned. It's just that he went to protect himself in his mind. He went and deleted videos instead of making them private. That was a dumb thing to do, but he just did it. That was his snap, quick decision to do that. But I'd like to point this out because I feel like he makes it seem as though they filed those strikes and that's what fucked him over. He filed the strikes. He had an expedited process. You guys remember this, right? He didn't get his streaming privileges revoked like you're supposed to. He didn't have to wait out the process like anybody else. This entire copyright thing, he had special treatment throughout. He was able to stream. He got his channel back quickly. He had Machinima talk to YouTube. He got all these special concessions that the average person wouldn't get. Like us, when we get our shit taken down by Machinima, we got to wait out the whole process for them to let this... Literally, Machinima's fake copyright struck us often because if you're copyright striking and we appeal and you don't take us to court, that means you never intended to take it that far anyway. And if you're right on a legal basis, you're going to take us to court and you're actually going to fight this. But they never did that. They filed these strikes that they had no intention to follow up on, and they just tried to intimidate us and scare us with our This Site Don't plays that they took down. We had to wait the whole fucking process. And despite that, despite the fact that they would file them on us, have no intention to actually act on them, YouTube allowed them to continue to do it, and we just had to eat it. Phil gets some strikes on shit that he used, shit that people didn't want him to use anymore, and he gets an expedited process through it. He gets his streaming unrestricted, gets the shit quicker than anybody else would have, special treatment. They didn't stick. They got overturned, but he made the stupid move to delete videos. That's what fucked him. He could have made them private. He could have did something else. He deleted them. That's what fucked him.
So and he would have lost those views too. If he made them private, those views still would have been there.
Absolutely. So he can say that the strikes fucked him. No, he made terrible decisions, and the strikes didn't even stick. In fact, the strikes got dealt with immediately, and he was bragging about that also on we already got it fixed and shit. Stuff like that. So, all right, let's continue.
American court system where you're innocent until proven guilty. Instead, they just, you're guilty until you prove that you're innocent, which is ridiculous. So in order to protect my business, I had to delete every pre-stream video I'd ever done up to that point that used fan art, resulting in the millions of views dropping off of my channels, and my channels, literally overnight, last summer, being removed from the YouTube search system.
Because of you.
So when you went to search for a new playthrough or a new thing, it wouldn't come up. I would not come up. Or if I came up, I would be on, like, instead of being page 2 or 3 or maybe even page 1 like I used to be because I'm an 8-year YouTuber, now I'm on page 32. So no one will ever see my videos in YouTube search. And my business went from plateauing to being pretty good and being able to pay my bills to into the toilet. Now, since then, a lot's changed. This year, I adopted a lot of changes and things to my business to try to make things better. Number one, DSP Gaming is now just pure gameplay.
You know what? Actually, I want to pause. I just thought about this for a second. I know we're pausing a lot, but there's a lot to say. How would his business be able to stay steady if it was dependent on the random nature of people searching for his videos through playthroughs, right? Some months are going to be hotter than others with new releases and shit like that. How can he say that his business was steady and that the thing that changed is that he wasn't showing up in search results when that itself is it's very flexible. It's very changing to rely on people searching for your stuff. What he's saying is essentially that these people that always watched me are the only people that are getting tallied right now. Like, these people that search out my content, we're seeing, like, the people that actually want to watch me and subscribe to me and shit like that. He's saying that his business was dependent on people that wouldn't dare subscribe to him. They would just search up, Assassin's Creed Unity and then find him through that. But these people never bothered to subscribe or anything else like that. I guess they didn't like the content, you know? He's seeing now what the value of his channel is when people are actually seeking out his content instead of just stumbling on it unwillingly. So, let's continue.
There's no other content on there, just gameplay. Streaming, playthrough videos, period. That's it. Here, vlogging is all my vlogging. All of my informative vlogging videos are right here on the King of Hate Vlogs. And you've seen I've expanded to things like reacting to certain news stories and things like that that normally I wouldn't do, while all my other series are continuing, like DSP Tries It and stuff like that. But then KO Gaming, my new channel, where I was doing edited content, right? Right now, it's pretty much a great place to do highly edited game reviews and impressions style videos. Now, coming up at the end of the year, I'm going to be doing all my year-end series over on KO Gaming. So this is going to be a big change. Okay,
that's going to be a waste.
Coverage this year was here on the King of Hate Vlogs because I was talking to a camera.
You never
but in the
capitalized
future,
on the
if I ever
KO
decide
gaming
to mix
success.
it up and do more edited stuff, that might
Yeah, let's actually talk about that for a second. I don't know if he addresses it later, but that's a good time to talk about that, I guess. So, he had a video. Now, from what I've seen, it was a number of factors why the Homefront went viral. One of the things I saw is that I heard that it was linked to 4chan directly. Instead of being mirrored or anything else like that, they directly linked his video on 4chan, and it blew up because of that. And that a lot of people were going to it. He didn't capitalize on that. He let the channel die. He took time off. You know, instead of coming up with content, countdown videos, or whatever else the shit that he was supposed to do, he just let the channel die. And I remember he was bragging about these videos that he was putting out here or there. I think the Ghostbusters or the... What was it? Fury or No Man's Sky? He was talking, he was like, yeah, putting these videos up and they're getting this many videos right away and shit like that. He didn't capitalize on it. You're absolutely right, Fizz. He let that golden opportunity slip through his hands.
Because I think, actually, he took a staycation as soon as he released that, too. So all those new people that came in, it was like, oh, we're going to look up this video that says the worst game I ever played. It's like, oh, we got 1 million views. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to be gone for a week.
Yeah. See you guys later. Yep. That's absolutely correct. Anybody else? Let's continue.
To KO Gaming as well, so it's going to be a destination for gaming info, and it got very popular at one point this year. It kind of skyrocketed in popularity. Now, unfortunately, it dropped off over this summer because there was nothing going on during the summer. There were no new game releases or nothing really going on, so I didn't have much content.
Did you cover
for
Mafia
it. Now, the good
3?
news is,
Did you do an edited video for that?
I am starting to make more content over on KO Gaming. Every week now I'm going to have multiple videos. In fact, tonight, once I finish filming this one, I'm going to start working on my Battlefield 1 review. There's going to be all kinds of reviews for all the new releases coming out in my year-end series, so I really think that channel is going to get buffed up again once people get used to realizing, oh, geez, Phil's still doing content for the channel. It's not like he abandoned it or anything like that. All right, so that's the deal of how I've been operating this year. And the good news was, earlier this year, things were great. My viewership was up. My KO Gaming viewership was up. DSP Gaming was about the same or even up a little bit, okay? The King of Hate Vlogs viewership was up. And then for whatever reason this summer, I don't know what happened, things dropped off. And there's really no logical explanation for it because the bottom line is...
You mean summer
if you actually
downtime?
Look at all of my YouTube analytics and data behind the scenes of YouTube, all right? YouTube is telling me that people are watching my videos for longer than ever, meaning instead of watching a video, for example, 5 minutes, they're watching for 8 minutes.
Okay.
That's great news, right? That means more engagement, more advertisements are playing, more potential to make money. More people are liking my videos. More people are sharing my videos. Overall, all the statistics that YouTube tracks to say your channel is healthy and growing and good.
How about
everything's
overall
up,
views? Is
according to
overall
YouTube.
views up too?
But YouTube is saying my views are either stagnant or down, and my profit is down. I'm making
Yeah.
less money.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
I'm sitting here
pause
like,
for a sec.
That's pretty straightforward, right?
It's pretty straightforward. I think that there's a couple reasons for this. One, people are watching his streams, okay? If they watch his streams, there's no reason for them to go ahead and watch the video when it released on YouTube.
Right.
So you lose all of that audience that came to your streams, the hardcore, the people that supported him. You lose all of that, okay? He doesn't unprivate his streams anymore. So essentially, he's removing those video views as well. Like, what he used to do is he used to wait for a week and then he released like the raw uncut stream as like a whole video too. So if you're interested in more, longer videos, you can go ahead and watch that. But yeah, people are liking his streams, people are interacting with his streams, but no one's watching his videos because there's no need to. Once you watch the stream, why are you going to go back and watch the same content again?
Right. And I think later in this video, he talks about how basically a stream would give him around the same income that like part 1 of a playthrough would give him. So that kind of gives you the idea. Part 1 of a playthrough for him usually gets maybe 10,000, 20,000, depending on how popular the game is. And, I guess we could sort of do some napkin math and say that would probably be around $20 to $30 maybe. So he's probably making around, and again, do not take this as like fact. This is all estimate. Only he knows and his partner company. But if the only thing that we could say the only thing we can conclude is that what he says he makes around part 1 of a playthrough, and that's around 10 to 20, maybe sometimes up to 50,000. So I don't know. It's definitely not a lot to stream, but I don't know. I guess I don't know where I'm going with that. I think you're right. The stream is hurting him. Because if he's going to say that, the stream amounts to basically like one video on DSP Gaming, that's a problem because, you know, he can put up 10 and hopefully have people go through the car wash of ads on that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
And realistically, I think an easy thing Phil can do is remove streams entirely. He removes the streams. He removes his need to like, oh, I need to always stream from 1 to 5 or 12 to 5. You know, I have to make this time. Like, he can play it when he wants to. He could go ahead and he could, you know, oh, I want to play late tonight. I don't have to worry about, oh, I need to break for stream. I need to take some breaks or anything like that.
Right.
If he's playing offline, you know, then people will watch the videos because there's no stream to like, oh, I've already seen it. But, you know, he can play for longer. If he plays for long one day, then he can not play the next day, you know?
Yeah.
And along with that point, he can have more of that valuable downtime he's craving.
That layer on time, I'm telling you. Hashtag layer on time. Hashtag noon to 4. All right.
What the hell? How could that be possible? How could it be that I had this big, you know, positivity going on earlier this year in the spring, and then as soon as the summer hit, things slowed down, and now it's gone permanently, and, you know, I'm playing all these new games now for the hardcore gaming season, which typically at the end of the year, when this time of year starts, I see a skyrocket in views.
Damn, he really put some
normally wouldn't even
emphasis
watch
on
my
that
stuff,
up thing.
Start coming out to watch the new games, and they want to see what these new games are. Because
Skyrocket
the holidays are coming
money.
out. Which one do I want
Buddy.
for Christmas? Or I only have this amount of money now, and a lot of people are calling this Broketober, right? The month
Yeah,
with so many
this
new
is
games coming out,
Broketober
there's no
for
way you can
Phil.
possibly afford them all. Which ones do you want to buy? Well, you got to watch someone play it first to find out. So typically, I get this influx, and I'm getting none of that this year.
Fun fact,
My
Phil,
views
people
are
don't like it when their
this.
favorite YouTubers talk about money, so...
And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know why. The only thing I can hypothesize, quite simply, is that YouTube fucked me still. In fact, if you look at my history this year, okay, almost none of my playthroughs that I did this year got any kind of search attention on YouTube. And you can actually tell because you can look at where your views come from in the YouTube analytics. And it used to be, I'm not even kidding, about 1/3, if not more, of my views would come from YouTube search. People searching for a game, I would pop up and they would click on it and watch the video. I don't get any of that anymore. It's down to, I think, 2%. It's that small. Everything is people who already watch the channel, people who are, you know, who already know my content and they frequent it. None of that YouTube search is even a factor anymore in my YouTube analytics. So I think that's what's going on, is that at this point, I'm really getting screwed over because of what happened last year, and there's no way for me to fix that. You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing. I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 8 years. But I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I don't want to change everything that I've done on YouTube in 8 years and completely change my personality and completely change my style of video to be what the popular guys do in order to make money.
Okay.
Because ultimately, even though this is my business, okay, and even though this is how I make my living, all right, I'm also doing this because I'm enjoying what I'm doing and because I feel that there's some good behind it, all right? I really do feel that by playing these games,
Okay,
video
pause
games
for a
like I do,
second.
raw,
Okay, and with that too, like, I can understand the whole, like, oh, I've been the same way for 8 years. But after 8 years, if you see that the way you're doing it isn't working, yeah, you need to change. You're not going to have Walmart, you know, sell just refrigerators for 8 years and then wonder why their sales are going down. And then when they're like, oh, we need to sell more stuff, Walmart's like, no, we sold refrigerators for 8 years. That's all we're going to sell. They're going to run out of business.
It's. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, Phil wants to view this as a quote-unquote business, but he wants to keep his, like, rebel against the authority attitude. It's not working.
Well, and this coming from a man who has a business degree, as he claims, not one from a credible college, I'm sure. But I mean, he can't understand the thought of supply and demand. Okay, he's not getting the demand he wants on his videos. Maybe he needs to put something else out. But no, he just wants to keep doing the same thing he's done for 8 years and just keep doing whatever he's doing. And because I'm not getting any more views, it's everyone else's fault. You guys aren't just watching it anymore. And it's YouTube that fucked me.
This is definitely a straw man to say. You know, for me to make changes or improvements means I need to, like, become a fake person, change my whole personality and not be who I am. Like, if uploading, like, obnoxious humor, I mean, we've talked about this a lot. His videos are just observations of what he sees on screen now. It's been so dumbed down. and sort of cookie cutter that he just walks through the stage. Oh, look at that rock glitching out. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, that guy's an asshole. Listen to what he just said. What a fucking idiot. Like, it's just he doesn't have to change his personality. He can be who he is. But people are suggesting that he changes his style. He edits stuff. He doesn't just have the raw thing. He talks about the sanctity of, these raw videos. That's what he needs to change. He's like, well, I refuse to change that because that's just the way I've always done it. Well, a lot of businesses have had that approach where they're not going to change because this is the way that great-great-grandfather did it in the 1900s and in the 1800s and shit. You got to change with the times, man. And you're clearly doing videos like this saying that your business is fucked. Well, the reason that your business is fucked is because you've been doing it the same way for 8 years. Things don't last that long without changing in some way. Look at MySpace. Did anyone when in the peak of MySpace, did you think like, oh man, this is gonna fizzle out, this is a flash in the pan? Now who gives a fuck about MySpace? Same thing's gonna happen with Facebook. Same thing's gonna happen with Twitter. They just fucking shut down Vine. Like, especially in the age of the internet where information is so freely shared and so open and accessible for people, things change fast. And people's tastes, people's preferences changes fast. And something like YouTube, where there's millions upon millions of users, you can't just continue to do the same thing and stubbornly just hold out and say, I don't want to change. And this is the problem. He always goes back to, I've always done it this way. It's always worked. It'll work again. I know it. No, it's not. And this video is proof of that. Let's continue on.
And putting out raw, unedited playthroughs from start to finish of a game. That it gives people an experience of exactly what that game is about. If you need a walkthrough of the game, you can see how I got through it. And by the way, I'm one of the worst gamers out there in a lot of cases. So if I can get through it, you can get through it. And you can see how I flubbed through it, right?
Let's pause that one. That's a revelation, isn't that, folks? Has he ever said that before?
I think that he's somewhat acknowledged it, but I don't think that he's outright mentioned that I am one of the worst gamers. In fact, I remember a time when he mentioned that he was one of the best gamers in the country.
Oh, dude, I want to have... Yeah, he did. Didn't he say he's one of the best overall gamers?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. What the hell is this? What is this juxtaposition, Phil? Can somebody please? Okay, in the comments.
I can get that. I'm going to.
Please. I'm also going to make a video with some juxtaposition. There's also going to be a lot of juxtaposition in this video. I would like to see back to back him saying that he's one of the best overall game. I know that was in 2016 or 2015. Dude, that was recent. He was in Washington when he said that shit, sitting on that fucking couch. I'm one of the best overall gamers on YouTube. Now he's saying, I'm one of the worst. And if I can do it, you can do it. Okay. Yeah. Remember that other quote? I could be great at games if I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best overall gamers in the country.
All right, dude. Well, that's a revelation. Anybody else? Continuance.
And I really do think it's more beneficial that these people who literally the only reason they make videos is entertainment. They want you to get a laugh, or they want you to get a rise, or drama, whatever, right? So there really is no quality gameplay or quality information in these videos. It's a guy sitting there playing a game, making faces at a face cam,
Sonic
overreacting
06,
to stuff that's not scary, basically
Rock
making
Band
series
4.
like Five Nights at Freddy's, one of the worst fucking game series ever made.
Oh, Fezzy! Oh no!
All right, listen here.
Oh.
As someone who has played through the Five Nights at Freddy's game, including the recent sister location, which I might add is perhaps the scariest Five Nights at Freddy's game to date, simply because it's not the jump scares that get you. No, it's the atmosphere. It's the tension. It's the fact that it's completely different from any other Five Nights at Freddy's games. That's the thing that gets you in that game. And he's claiming that they're all fucking bad? No. They are not terrible games. And even just from a gameplay perspective, they're good. If you're into that sort of thing.
Well, the
But
Five
of
Nights at
course,
Freddy's
yeah,
games are amazing. I have
yeah.
to agree with you there, Fazzy. It's just, and the fact that he even tried to profit on their popularity at the beginning when they first came out. He played the first Five Nights at Freddy's and then made an ass of himself, saying that he was gonna not be like the other people who play this game and make stupid faces into the camera. I mean, he just did that the complete wrong way. I mean, okay, he didn't like the game, but you didn't have to sit there and shit on the entire series.
He's still shitting on it to this day.
You know, that's another thing too. All right, so obviously, I'm gonna take issue with him trying to say like, oh, I mean, there's no quality gaming on YouTube. You know, I mean, there's just okay. So you failing at the shit. I mean, every playthrough you have, practically every play. I'm not gonna say every, but okay, let's be fair. A majority of the playthroughs that he does are worthy of this how you don't play. So there's a lot that weren't, and people have preferences in their games. I really like this game as a child, so I'm gonna make it this how you don't play, even if it didn't really matter or whatever. That's fine. All right, yeah. But a lot of your games that you play are candidates for this how you don't plays, and you fail a lot. You blame shit. How can you say that that's quality? Like, where did Phil get the idea that like his shit is good, his shit is the way to do it, and everything else is just wrong? It's ridiculous, and it's really egotistical, short-sighted. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Anybody else? Let's go.
Million, if not billion-dollar profitable gem of a series because these idiots yelled at a face cam like a fucking Muppet, and people are so dumb that they believed that it was scary, and they went and bought the games themselves because they're dumb as fucking dirt.
Wow.
That's not what I want to become.
Yeah, kinda
Now,
like
on the
your
flip
audience,
side
Bill.
of that,
It's
I also
insulting
want to
people.
become a shill.
This is a
I
video
wanna
that's
become
supposed to
someone
get.
who
All right, let's pause.
constantly-
Let's go ahead and pause. Go ahead, Fazzy.
I actually bought the games on a whim simply because my friends were talking. I didn't watch anybody on YouTube who played them. I tried it out for myself. So what he describes is not always what people do. And that's something that I don't think that he gets, is that not everyone is in the majority. There are people that are in the minority that do things differently than others. So the fact that he just sums everything up as in, this is how things are done and this is how things are always done is fucking bullshit.
It's just also, let's be honest here, right? Look at the title of the video. I need help to continue to do this. Serious update and shit. This is a video where he comes hat in hand to his viewers and says, please give me money. And yet he's over here insulting the fans of not only other YouTubers, his competition, people like, he's talking about like Markiplier and shit like that, right? But he's also talking about fans of a series, right? Do you think, okay, let's say just an average person, not someone that's really invested in this or whatever, just the average person. Just I click on Phil's videos every once in a while, whatever. He's funny, he's whatever. You think that if they're like a big time fan of a video game series and then you see Phil shitting on it, that they're going to be like, oh, it's just fine because it's Phil. They're going to be like, that's not cool. And maybe that's not the only thing that's going to make them say, fuck this guy, but it accumulates, right? And people, like, make opinions off of people based on them shitting on stuff that they like, That's why people like stuff. That's why people have opinions and voice them and shit like that. People like stuff. And when you just like shit on them and you can't have a conversation about it and go back and forth, and you're just like, fuck this guy. All right, I just have to take the loss. Phil says it sucks, and I can't have a back and forth and tell him why it doesn't suck. So that's unresolved. Fuck it. Fuck him. This is not the approach. Like, if somebody can talk to Phil and tell him when you're coming out hat in hand to ask for donations, don't insult major groups of people. Don't insult them. Tell them that they're idiots and they're stupid. He does this multiple times in this video. Spoiler alert. He insults people that like stuff that he doesn't like, that he doesn't agree with. But he doesn't just say he doesn't agree with it. He says that they're stupid, they're idiots, yada yada yada. It's a terrible way to go about it. It really is. So, all right, we're ready to continue. Let's do it.
Has to advertise in my videos, on my streams, that my gameplay becomes more about fundraising than the actual playing of the game. Which a lot of people who say I should just become a full-time streamer on Twitch, they say that's what I should do. Okay, but the only way to make money on Twitch is to constantly be getting subs and asking for donations and plugging products. So you'd have to hear that. Like, I'd have to be like one of those streamers where I'm playing.
Doesn't he promote his Patreon at the start of almost every other stream? Like he
Yes,
says,
he
"Oh, I
does.
got a number of new viewers, and if you guys don't know, I have a Patreon at Patreon DSP whatever, and go donate there. Look at the things that I'm gonna do, and this is what I'm gonna do with the $5 viewers. They're gonna vote on the next series." He promotes it at the beginning of every stream for the most part, and that and Leanna soaps and candles and whatever.
And also, he tried to do T-shirts, which failed miserably. Now, here's the thing. I'm glad you bring that up. When Phil says that his stream is going to start, right? He tells his viewers that his streams are going to start at high noon Pacific or 3 Eastern. And all this week, when you go to his stream, he doesn't even start doing the pre-stream until like 12:15 Pacific. 12:30 in some cases. He doesn't even start the pre-stream until 10 to 30 minutes after he's advertised on his schedule for you to go there. And then he tweets to people that the stream is live after that amount of time, where people are already coming in because they're conditioned to or told to. Then he tweets out to show up to his stream, and then you're treated to a 20 to 30 minute pre-stream. And you know what he's been doing lately? He's been saving his bitching about his fucking life and shit like that. He's been saving that until 15 to 20 minutes into the pre-stream, so that basically people that are there at like 12:30, 12:45, 30 to 45 minutes after the stream is supposed to have started, and when there's supposed to have already been gameplay and shit, they're tuning in and they're hearing him bitch about his fucking views and where to go to donate to the Patreon and how you can donate games to me. Give me fucking Titanfall 2. Give me Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Check with me first before you donate a game, so that way I can tell you if maybe your money would be better spent in another game that I'm looking forward to. Hint, hint. People are being advertised to, and they're also being misled as to when they actually can show up. People probably try to show up when the coast is clear. Like, yeah, you know, every time I show up when I'm supposed to, I get fucking bombarded with shit that I don't want. He also says that he says later on about people bitching in the stream chat about all the advertisements. So they probably try to show up when the coast is clear. Like, I'll just show up a half hour late. What do you get? Boom. Oh, my life fucking sucks. Give me buddy. It's not enough. More buddy. You know, he's misleading people and like basically shoehorning them right into the fucking woe is me, give me money, plugs, donations, Leanna soap and wax tarts. So, absolutely right. Anything else on that before we move on? Let's continue.
Oh, thanks to this person who just donated money. All right, now back to the game. It's so distracting. It has nothing to do with the fucking video. Has nothing to do with the game. It has nowhere belonging in a fucking stream or a video anywhere. But that's how these people make money. Those streams on Twitch, where those professional streamers, those are more about social interaction with the person on the other end of the stream than the actual game. It doesn't matter what game they're playing. They could be sitting there fucking playing Pong, right? The original video game ever, Pong. They could be sitting there fucking taking a shit. And as long as they're talking to stream chat and saying thank you every time someone sends them money, they'd still fucking make money. That's not what I want to do. I want to put out quality
You don't have
content
to.
that I feel is worth making and that I have fun making. Okay? Because the bottom line is, if every time I play a game, now I have to sit down and edit it for a fucking week before I can even start releasing videos to you,
week.
that's not fun.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of YouTube, is you're supposed to share your personality and your experiences and your talents with the world and have fun doing it and then make money. Not it becomes a 9-to-5 fucking job where you punch a fucking clock. Oh, I played a game and I faked like I was having fun. Now time to edit this for a week and release it 2 parts a day. Oh, look, I have 1 million subscribers on YouTube now because people are fucking
Pause.
stupid as shit. And really...
Look at his face.
Nice pause there.
Oh my god.
He's putting his foot in his mouth right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's his face when he sees Leanna naked.
That's his face. Aww. Oh no. I've made a terrible mistake.
Okay, so he's in dire straits. Everything's going to shit.
You're a little low, Tyler.
Sorry, is that better?
Yep.
All right. So he's in dire straits. Everything's going to shit, and he can't afford to lose any more money. Why the fuck does it matter at all if suddenly it becomes like work? If you want the money, you gotta fucking work for it. Why does it matter if it's fun or not?
Yeah.
People don't go to work and they're like, oh shit, I'm not gonna do this job anymore. Fuck it, it's not fun.
I gotta talk to my boss. This wasn't fun enough for me, so we're gonna have to fund this up if I'm gonna continue to give you my time here.
Seriously, fuck your fun levels. Like you need money. Who cares if it's not fun anymore? You got to make that money.
Phil thinks that he's like some sort of super intellectual that should be valued for his thoughts and opinions, and that just his presence, his commentary, his little quips, his jokes about shit, that all should carry him through life. And it's not the truth. Him getting a job, and I've seen other YouTubers that just act like not doing YouTube and getting a job is a death sentence. Is like being sentenced to 20 years of forced labor and shit like that. It's really concerning that these people who are supposed to just be regular people, you and me, YouTube, it's supposed to just be accessible for everybody, that these people start to get a little bit of money and they latch onto it like there is no future outside of this for me. There can only be me on YouTube and that's it. And they, if I could find a job that's just like YouTube where I can just sit around and make jokes and make faces and hee-haw-hee and all kinds of shit, then I'll do that. But until then, I have to stay on YouTube. It's the only life for me. It's all I can do. That sucks. What would Phil do? What if there was some shit? I don't know, some fucking terrorist attack that takes down the internet forever? I don't fucking know. And then what's Phil gonna do? Nothing.
That's a sign of someone who still has some growing up to do. You can't realize that it's not all going to be fun and games 24/7. You're going to have to suck it up and you're going to have to do stuff that you don't want to do in order to get by. Everyone does it. Everyone.
What if one day Google just says fuck it and they don't want to do YouTube anymore? I mean, it's not completely out of the question. I mean, there's rumblings that, this YouTube Red was an attempt to try to make some profit because YouTube is not incredibly profitable for Google and stuff like that. Like, at this point, it's not out of the question that a couple years down the road, 10 years from now, maybe there's no YouTube anymore.
I mean, how Vine is going to close down soon, so maybe YouTube's next.
Yeah, and Vine was popular. I mean, I think people are sort of selling Vine a little short. I mean, people had huge fucking Vines with millions and millions of Vines, loops and shit, and these things happen. What if somehow some competitor comes up and it doesn't have the same restrictive copyright and shit like that or whatever? It's hosted in some country that's lax or I don't fucking know. And people start using that instead of YouTube. What if people start drifting away from YouTube? Again, I used the example of MySpace. Who thought MySpace was going to go down? And then a competitor came up and everybody went over there. Everybody grew up or whatever. I don't know. So he's hitched his wagon to YouTube and he thinks it's going to be forever or whatever the fuck else. He needs to change. He needs to be able to adapt. And he's going down kicking and screaming. That's what this video is. So, all right. Any other thoughts on that before we move on?
I love this face, just so much. It was a good time to pause.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, let's continue.
That's what it's become. There's so many people who just emulate everyone else or copy everyone else at this point because that's the successful formula on YouTube. And so many people come to me and say, "Why don't you do it?" And I say, "I was out. I did this before any of those people existed, and I still do it my way because I think it's the better way. But you're not getting millions of views and you're not getting millions of subs." And they even tell me I do it wrong. I'm doing it wrong because I'm doing it the way I did it before all of this bullshit, this scripted
bullshit,
nonsense, high production value, teams of people putting out videos, bullshit.
God, he really hates that stuff.
No, I'm not doing it wrong. I'm doing it right. I'm doing it the way that I care about it. Where if you actually care about,
this is something that I think a lot of this video, and this comes up at multiple points too, is present Phil is paying for past Phil's mistakes.
Ooh.
He was he was here for 8 years, and he saw, people started using direct capture, people started using live streaming. He was at an opportunity with all of those improvements to be the first person to do it. If he was the first person to adapt, not exactly the first person, but, direct capture,
Right.
live streaming, if he was one of those first people to, really revolutionize that, then he would be wildly successful.
Right.
But he's so stuck back in his previous ways that, it's going to take some oh, my views are dropping. Well, what do I do? Okay, let's start live streaming. Let's start direct capturing instead of pointing a camera at my TV.
Right.
We see all these mistakes that are just piling up until we get now where it feels like I can't get views. What's going on? Well, your past self is affecting your future self.
I think the thing is, too, with Phil, so he holds out on these things for so long that it ends up being too little too late. But not only is it too little too late, direct capture, starting to edit videos, doing shit like that. Not only is it too little too late, but he also views it as some huge revolution, some huge transition that, it itself deserves respect and admiration, and it's such a big transition that I can't possibly do anything again because I'm so spent and I'm so exhausted from this huge transition and shit like that. I can't possibly do anything else. So for him, in his mind, I switched to direct capture. It was too little too late. But in his mind, he fucking revolutionized his business and brought it into the new era. And so I'm out of obligations to do anything else to revamp my shit. Because I've already done this gigantic fucking makeover to my channel. And so, he doesn't, if he would have adapted things, if he would have started making these changes sooner, he would have had the ability to be like, all right, well, I've already got this stuff out of the way. Now what can I do to look forward? What can I improve off of this? If he was doing direct capture in 2011 or 2010, 2011, and he was doing edited videos in 2012, by 2013, 14, 15, he'd already be looking at ways to advance himself further. By 2016, he's looking at I just started editing videos and doing direct capture not too long ago, so what can I do now? He should have already been there. He should have already been looking at ways to improve himself and to evolve, but he evolved so slowly that it's all too little too late. Anything
That's
else?
also kind of the...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
Right.
That's also kind of the same thing with his changeover to doing PC games now with his $3,500 PC, the Lemon PC, where he wasn't doing computer games for the longest time. He goes, no, I'm a console gamer, and then he switched over to do PC gamer, to be a PC gamer and do more PC games. That was just a little too late. Things were already kind of trailing off, and people already found who they were going to follow with the PC games and stuff like that. He just kind of got into that too late and still doesn't do it as much anymore because he just didn't get the following for the PC games.
He could have opened up a lot of different avenues for viewers. He could have started doing obscure games. He could have done indie games. They would have been unique. Because let's say you hear about some indie game and then you search it up. They would have found Phil. If you search up Call of Duty Infinite Warfare in a couple weeks, or when does it come out? Whatever. But whenever Infinite Warfare comes out in the near future, when you start searching that, how many people are going to be playing that? Whereas if you find some obscure indie game, you type that in, people are going to find it. And then that's going to grow. Even if it's just a handful of people, those are still people gained. That's what Phil doesn't understand. It's worth it. An audience is an audience. These are human beings. It's worth it to get a few people here or there and to cater to them, and they'll support you and they'll stick with you. But no, he wants the mainstream, casual people to stumble on his videos. That business doesn't work anymore because he made a dumb move to delete all those videos, and YouTube took him out of the search results. His business was based off of benefiting from YouTube search results because he's been there so long. I mean, his channel is a long-standing channel. He just got lucky and was benefiting from the YouTube search results. He no longer has that, and now he's fucked. And he hasn't figured out any way to get around that, any way to carve out a niche for himself then. If he needs the mainstream viewer, in his own words, and he cannot get that, and he accepts that he can't get that, he has not come up with an alternative. He hasn't said, well, all right, if I can't get the mainstream, I'm going to just try to get a niche audience then. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do that to specifically cater to these people. Instead, he fucking guilt trips them. He blames them. He calls them idiots. And then he says that the people in the mainstream who he can no longer get, well, those mainstream people that I actually want, instead of my hardcore viewers who fuck them, they're going to be there no matter what. So I don't give a fuck about them. I want the mainstream viewers, but they're too stupid. They're too idiotic. And they're watching other bullshit that is fake and disingenuous that I don't do and I refuse to do. That's what this video is. Anything else before we move on? Let's continue.
The game, and you want to have that genuine experience. That's what I'm sharing with you, not this highly over bullshit video. Which is fake as fuck. If you want to watch fake as fuck,
they should
go
make
watch
a game
television.
like that.
Go watch fucking, anything that's out there already that's highly produced.
Yeah,
and is
6
incredibly
Torbjorns
fake.
is over bullshit.
You know what I mean? Go watch fucking reality, because that's really what it is. It's reality TV. Everyone wants reality
6 and
TV
8
now.
TVH.
The lowest common denominator. People with 2 fucking brain cells in their brain. I gotta watch reality TV, right? And that's what it's all about. Reality fucking TV. Not someone actually playing a game and enjoying it, but I have to now over dramatize
because
everything
fucking reality
going on for
TV is
entertainment
successful.
purposes.
Not
No.
you, Phil.
He doesn't
I don't
enjoy
wanna
a lot
do
of the
that.
games he
I don't want to
plays.
be the shill. I don't want to be the clown, the Muppet that dances on camera. I don't want to be any of this. Yeah,
Really?
While it's okay to do those things.
Pausarino. We're never going to
Okay.
get through this whole video. This is going to be like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, dude, we've been at this for so long.
He says, I don't want to be the clown. Ugh. Does anyone remember back in Metal Gear Solid 3? He's like, oh, welcome to video game land and all that crap. Yeah,
Not just that. I mean, do you remember Rock Band 4? Do you remember Sonic 06? Where any of these videos where he's on Facecam, Crash, he's doing a wow, oh my god, fucking running, like, doing all
Crash cam.
giant fucking
Sonic
arm
06
motions.
where he flashed the camera?
Yeah. Where he's
Oh.
playing, he's wearing a Sonic hat and he's playing a Rock Band guitar every time there's music. The like, what was it? The victory screen music? He's over there fucking doing shit.
Yeah, at the end of the stage screen.
He's dancing with his hat and shit. He has his hat. He has a Sonic hat on his hand, and he's fucking dancing around and shit like that. He's a fucking clown. He wants to be able to do that shit, and he pulls it out for fucking Patreon shit. And, oh, people gave me money. I guess I got to put on a show for him. He does that, and he wishes he could do that. He's jealous because he can't. Remember when he did green screen and pranced around like a fucking idiot and shit, dancing with 2 pitchers and fucking walking around with a fucking, what do you have, like a fucking hammer or some shit? He does try to do this shit. He does try to be a clown, but it doesn't catch on. He wishes he could. He wishes he could.
Yeah, he sucks at giving green screen footage. Like Filthy Frank does it right.
Let's continue before this gets out of hand.
But that's not what I want to become the embodiment of on YouTube, to make money and keep doing this as a living, right? So I'm worried because right now my views are the same or even going down a little bit. My profit apparently is going down, which I don't understand. And I'm supposed to be having the most busy time of the year. It makes no fucking sense what's going on right now. All of YouTube's metrics are telling me everything's positive. Everything's good and better and positive, yet I'm making less money. How is that fucking possible? So last week I talked about all this in the weekend preview. And
Yes, you did.
I vented about it. Basically, it's all the stuff I just talked about, only not as much in detail as I just gave you. And I said, I really need help. All right? I need help. Right now, I need, first of all, people who are watching my stuff to spread it via word of mouth. So that I can
No,
keep paying my
you didn't
fucking
even
bills,
mention
my
that. You
house,
said
not
money,
having
money,
possessed
money.
shit. I need help.
Home
Number 2, Patreon.
repossessed.
Because the bottom line is, if you already watch my stuff, you already spread the word about my stuff, and YouTube is saying that everyone who watches my stuff is liking it according to all their metrics, right?
But there's
the only
less
other thing you
of
can do to
them,
help me is
Phil.
Patreon.
Why don't you understand
Pledge
that?
money to get perks, get stuff back, but also to help me. Because if the bottom line is, if a small amount of my viewership were patrons, if 10% of the people who watch me every single month, I get around 2 million views still on DSP Gaming a month, and that's not counting views here on the King of Hate vlogs or over on KO Gaming or anything like that. That's just the channel alone. Gets over 2 million views usually a month. All right? If 10% of 2 million, 10% gave $1 a month, I would never have to worry about YouTube again. I wouldn't have to worry about views. I wouldn't have to worry about advertisements. If that was a consistent pledge that I got on Patreon, you would never have to hear me make a video like this, and I never have to say I'm in dire straits and I don't even know if I could do this business long term anymore. But that's the truth of the matter, is that people don't realize that. And I don't actually talk about Patreon outside of things like my pre-streams or whatever, because I don't advertise. I don't. My only advertisement is on pre-stream every day. That's it.
Every day.
I barely ever
every
post
day,
on
just a
Twitter
daily
an
advertisement. That's
almost
all.
nothing. So because of that, because I'm all about the games and the
And your
gameplay of busting my
advertisements
ass
suck. They're not
making gameplay
concise at
videos
all.
for you, I don't make a lot of money. I'm not like these other fucking people, right?
Oh.
And I'm not using all the tricks of the trade to get high views on YouTube so I can get tons of sponsorship and free games out of the ass like everyone else. There's gamers on YouTube that have not paid for a
Hold
fucking
on
video
second.
game.
Nah, that's Pause Central. Okay.
Did he just say? Sorry, did he just say out of the ass?
Out of the
Yes.
ass. So, okay, he does do tricks because he does his clickbait video. How did he do the fucking clickbait for KO Gaming? You know exactly what he did there. Oh, this is the worst game I ever fucking played. Fuck this game. Shit like that. He does clickbait fucking titles for all his DSP. He does fucking 170 parts a game. You know? These are all little tricks. He says himself if he were to make less parts, it would make less money and he'd go out of business and shit. So there's tons of tricks of the trade he does. As far as him selling out and shit like that and getting free games, okay, let's think. In the last 12 months, he got what for free? He got Fallout 4, Rock Band 4, Talos Principle. What else was Machinima giving him before they gave him the Shaft? They gave him some other game too on Xbox One. He didn't want to fucking
It
play
was Star Wars.
Star Wars, yep. And then just recently, he got Titanfall 2 from a fan, and he was bragging about, oh, somebody's going to give me Duke Nukem Remastered, and somebody's going to give me 2 people volunteered to give me Infinite Warfare. So I don't know what he's talking about. He's getting free games now, and he was getting free games from his partner company. So it's always just bitter. Like, it has to be, he always has to say I'm the little guy, and I'm fucking disadvantaged, and I'm sticking up for the little guy and shit like that. He's not the little guy. He's been making a living off of YouTube. That's not the little guy. He bought a house based off of the money that he was getting from playing video games. That's not the little guy. Let's continue.
Years. I'm going to say that again. There's gaming YouTubers who have not even bought a fucking game for years. They get everything for free or they get paid
Jealous.
to play the fucking game.
So
not
jelly.
One video they put out is legitimate because it's all paid sponsorship.
It's not
And that's what people
legitimate.
think is good. How? Are you a fucking idiot? You're just watching constant advertisements for free, by the way. You're a moron. You're wasting your time watching these advertisements for free on YouTube.
Quick
And you
pause.
think
This
that
one will
they're
be short.
entertaining because
Okay, if you're doing a video where you are begging people to give you donations, it's generally not a good idea to insult their tastes, especially if they probably are a fan of that content. So you're just fracturing your fucking fan base even further by doing this. This is not how you beg, Phil.
And he's saying that, I don't even, what did he say? You're watching advertisements for free? What the fuck does that mean? Everybody watches YouTube videos for free.
I've
you
never
get paid
paid
for
to-
being advertised to? Like,
I've
oh,
never
hey Glade, I just watched that commercial on TV. I want my money for that, okay? I don't understand.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he talking about? He's calling people idiots because they like big YouTubers. You know, these big YouTubers that have, millions of subscribers, as in millions of people like them. He's telling you that you're an idiot. So if you just so happen to be one of these people who there are a lot of, I'm calling you an idiot because you like their content.
And that's not how you do begging.
No.
Or at least that's not how you ask for support.
It's just bitterness. It's just, like I said on Twitter, this is stuff that he's had in his mind for years, and he's just fucking letting it go, and he's letting them fly, and this is the Hail Mary. Let's continue on.
I don't know. Maybe you're simpleton. Who else would like this fucking shit? I don't know. I certainly fucking don't. I watch it. I watch 5-10 seconds of it, and I want to fucking vomit and shit at the same fucking time.
Oh,
I
like
can't
you
take
did
that
when you
shit. I
drank
can't.
alcohol
And I know I
smoked
have a
weed?
viewership that's in the same mind frame as me, or else I wouldn't have been on YouTube for 8 years. There's actually a group of intelligent people out there who want my kind of content. Informative. Real. Right? Not
Real.
fucking stage scripted entertainment. You're not watching my streams to be entertained every possible second
That
of
makes
the fucking
no
stream,
sense.
or every possible second of the video. You need instant gratification. No, you're more mature than that. You understand that you can watch the content and this
Yeah,
is
you
what the
waste
game
a bunch
is.
of
Now I
time
know if
being
I wanna check
bored
it out for
before
myself or
one
not.
nugget of
I know I
entertainment.
wasn't going to get this game, so I'll watch Phil play it, so at least I know what the game's all about.
Nah.
That's what my content has always been about on DSP Gaming. And of course, now I've really upped the quality of the reviews that I'm doing on KO Gaming. People are telling me that my videos on KO Gaming are just as good as anyone else who's doing high production value reviews on the internet, but that I just don't have the exposure. If I had the exposure, I'd be probably beating these people. Some people have even told me, and I'm not going to group names or whatever, that my reviews on KO Gaming this year have been much better than a few people who are actually
I'm not
going to
name names because they don't exist.
Game reviews. Mine are better. But
I can't make up a name on the spot, so
I haven't surpassed anyone. So all this being said, okay, this past week there was an outpouring of positivity. People were coming out to thank me, to support me, leaving nice comments, suggestions, constructive stuff that really helped out. And what I want to do right now is give you an update on how everything's going after this 1 week of this being known.
I thought this
that my
was already an
was
update.
not doing well, and I was in jeopardy of not even being able to do this as a job anymore.
We're not even 20 minutes into this.
And I also want to give you some responses to some of the suggestions that people have said about suggested improvements. Because I actually think that some of them were really good. I think some of them were not so good. And I want to explain why, rather than, well, Phil refuses to change because we suggested all these things for him to do, and he didn't do them all. So obviously he's just ignorant, or he's, what's the word? Stubborn. And he doesn't want to listen to all our suggestions.
Stubborn?
It's his fault that he fails on YouTube. No, the bottom line is that a lot of suggestions that I get just aren't viable or
They're
feasible. And
stupid.
I'm going to explain a lot of them to you right now why, okay? So first off, let's talk the positive side. On the positive side of things, this week, I did not see an increase in views. No. I did not see an increase in any kind of engagement. But likes are up even more. I think what happened is after watching the weekend preview last week, people said, we got to start liking Phil's videos because that's going to help him. Okay. Likes are up even more. Engagement's up slightly more from last week when I've last looked. Okay. And, get this, my profit is up. Now, if you're wondering why, that could be one of two reasons. It could be because people realized, oh shit, Phil makes money off of the ads on his videos. Let's do him a favor. Let's do him a solid. He's given us 8 years of fucking free videos. Let's turn off ad blocker when we watch his videos. Let's make sure that there's videos playing with ads on them when we watch his stuff, so that he'll actually make the money that he's supposed to be earning. You know, give him the benefit of the doubt because he's in trouble. If we don't do this, he's not going to be able to do.
This goes with my whole thing of, you know, past Phil is messing up present Phil.
Mm-hmm.
He just recently went on an ads-based contract. For the longest time, he was views-based.
He was getting away with murder on that contract. He was getting paid more than he was earning.
Yeah. And the thing with the views-based is how many times, and we could probably find like multiple examples where he's like talking shit about fucking YouTube Red and like, oh, why do people need to pay to fucking disable ads? We have AdBlock Plus. Like he didn't care about AdBlock Plus because he was getting paid by views. And now that he's on an ads-based contract, it's like, oh, please, you know, they're doing me a favor. They're turning off AdBlock Plus, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's starting to see these changes like all piling up. You can't be like, oh, you know, I don't care about fucking ads. Keep your AdBlock Plus on because I get paid by views, and then expect for them to like instantly turn it off when it's like, okay, now I care about ads.
I agree. It's a really good point, man. Any other comment? Let us continue.
YouTube anymore. Or it could be that right now is the beginning of the biggest advertisement season of the year. It's traditionally October through December when the ads pick up in ad revenue. You're going to see way more ads, way different ads for products that are holiday or gift-giving themed. You're going to see a lot of game ads, movie ads, things for Christmas-style ads coming up in the next few months on YouTube. And those are the high-paying ads. This is like the prime time to make videos on YouTube right now because right now is the big money-making paying time, okay? So maybe YouTube flipped the switch, and now all the better ads are now being on YouTube this week, and so my ad revenue is going up. It could be that, or it could be both. It could be a factor of both things. So I made a little bit of extra money this week in comparison to what I would usually make. The bottom line is, it looks like this month, because we're near the end of the month. I won't know for about another week, actually, because there's 3 more days left in the month, and then it takes about 3 days for YouTube to process all the data. So really, it's about a week from today. I will actually know how I did in October. It's looking like I'm definitely going to do better than I did in September, but it's certainly
which was
not
the
looking
worst
like
possible
anywhere
month
near
ever.
as good as I need to do or have been doing ever in this kind of time of year. It's only a little bit more than what I used to make, okay?
Wait, so you're actually going to do more than you used to?
The other positive thing, 2 positive things, is that number one, Patreon, I had an outpouring of support this week. for people who pledge to my
Wasn't
Patreon.
it only like
And I just want to say this
$75?
right up front.
It's like 100 and
Thank
something
you
now.
to those who watched the weekend preview last week, believed me, and listened. Because the worst thing would happen is no one believed me, no one listened, and then by the end of this year, that's it, and my YouTube career's done, and I'm gone. And 8 years, a legacy gone, just because people didn't believe me that I was actually in trouble and that I needed your help. All right, people did, and I think over 50 new people pledged to my Patreon. I think this month, October 2016, is going to be, I'm going to have the most number of pledgees ever on Patreon, and I'm probably going to make the most money ever that I've ever made on Patreon before since I started.
I don't
in
see how
February
like
of 2015.
1250 is going to
Now,
get
I
him
want to
very
clarify
far,
that
though.
because there's some misconceptions. There's all these dumb reporting websites out there that never
They're
have correct
dumb.
data. Not once ever have I used any of these reporting websites for YouTube or Patreon or anything where the data was correct. All they do is they take the front-facing number on the front of a fucking webpage,
The fuck
and they
of a
think that it's
fucking-
right no matter what. When in reality, all data that's public-facing is
You
subject
sound
to
like Porky
context.
Pig
all
right there.
Fuck
If
it,
you look
fuck
at
it,
a
fuck it.
graph of like how I've done on Patreon, it looks like I've plummeted. Oh my God, Phil used to make $1,250.
This goes into the
more
whole,
every
like,
single
believe
month,
me,
and then all of a
don't
sudden,
believe the
You know, he
sites.
started making less and less and less, and now it's it's like $1,000 a month. So what happened? He plummeted. Wrong. It's all wrong.
Wrong.
The data is completely and utterly
Pulling
wrong.
a
What
Trump
you're seeing
there.
when you go to my Patreon page at patreon.com
His views are rigged.
Phil, that is a front-facing number for the public.
Patreon's rigged against
Okay,
them, dude.
that number has been edited by Patreon 3 fucking times this year. First, they wanted to put in the fact that there are fees that they take out, processing fees, okay? So first it dropped once. Then they went in there and they said, well, now we want to estimate based off of how many false pledgees you get a month. We want to subtract that from the total, okay? So they started doing that because people used to false pledge to my Patreon account hundreds of dollars a month that I never would get. So it would look like I'm making $2,000 a month, when in reality I was still making the $1,250, and they would, they wanted to fix that. So then they kind of fixed that. But then, this summer, they instituted a new process by which if you pledge to a Patreon, myself, the Patreon page owner, can make it so that when you pledge, it charges you immediately. So that way there's no trolling. If you're going to pledge, it's going to charge you. You can't false pledge, right? So it eliminated all false pledges. But then Patreon never changed the front-facing number. So it has in there calculated estimated false charges and stuff, but it's wrong because now there's no false charges anymore. So really what you see on the Patreon page, my page, is around $225 less than what I actually have pledged to me at the time. Okay, I just want to make that abundantly clear. That's the truth
I
of
don't
the
know.
matter. But Patreon, and I've contracted Patreon on it, and they won't fix it. Oh, well, thanks. That is an oversight on our behalf, but we're just, we'd have to recode the whole thing, and we're not going to do that. That's what I was told. They're not going to recode the whole thing just for me. Okay.
Why? Okay.
I had trolling
quick
last year where
pause.
people were
Yep.
Companies do not just fucking do entire structural changes like that to their code just for one guy.
Yeah, for one person that has a unique problem as opposed to everybody else.
Yeah, they're not going to spend they're not going to spend that much man hours, like work, whatever you call it. They're not going to waste all that time just to fucking institute a change that only one customer is ever going to use.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense from a business perspective.
And they already did that for him because they recoded his website or his Patreon page based on the fact that he was uniquely being trolled. So he's already been catered to by Patreon. They already recoded his page once. So, and that was probably the face he made when they told him that they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
We've been getting some Incredibles. I'm telling you what, man, this is great. All right, so all this time we're rambling on, you get like a really good Phil face for it. So that's his he can hear us right now. That's his face.
Yeah,
All right.
it's his Phil face.
Let's continue.
posting up my address and personal information and all kinds of shit on my Patreon page, and they did recode it then because they realized how serious it was that I could probably sue them if they
Oh
didn't.
yeah.
Here they won't do it. They won't fix it.
You're
I
gonna
can't
sue
make
them.
them do it. But the bottom line is that number is always going to be absolutely wrong on my page. In fact, to give you a frame of reference here, last month someone pledged $20, so they were charged $20 immediately. But they didn't want to do a $20 recurring charge. They wanted to do a $5 recurring charge, so they immediately changed it to $5. So here's what happened. My Patreon total went up by $20, but then it subtracted 15 because they lowered their pledge. So it did count on the main homepage for 5 seconds, and then it reduced down by $15. So everyone who makes a pledge and then lowers it isn't reflected properly on the page at all. And that's the problem with my Patreon page. It's just not correct. So really, unfortunately, you're going to have to rely on what I tell you, every month on how I'm doing on Patreon. The good news is, right now, I'm probably going to make the most ever on Patreon in a month, and the most number of patrons, and it's good. And here's
How
the thing: if
convenient.
we can
No
retain
proof.
that,
It's what I told
gotta
you.
be-
it
it's
is.
whatever I
pledged
say it
right
is.
now, keep their pledges. All right. Not that they make one large pledge that they go away and they never come back, but if they do $1 a month ongoing pledge, $5 a month ongoing pledge, okay, that's gonna save my ass.
Is it?
Like, you have no idea. If right now, like I said, 10% of the people who watch my stuff gave $1 a month, I would never be talking about this shit ever again. So if
Okay, we're gonna pause real quick. All right. So, what he's saying is that he's basically hinting at the fact that all the people that have recently come out to donate, you need to continue to do that because it's not even scratching the surface of what I need. And then he goes on to say, 10%, blah blah blah. So what he's saying is that he wants thousands of people to give $1. So what he's saying is that his Patreon needs to reach like $2,000 a month for him to be able to continue. Basically, this is you'll never have to hear me again, yada yada. That's not going to happen. There's no way. He's already been shown the goodwill of people, and these people. This comment always gets brought up. These people that turn up for these type of videos and shit, they only show up for this shit. Like all these people just come out of the woodwork for I'm in desperate need. I got swatted, and then they come out and they say, fuck those haters. You do you and shit like that. These are the silent people that just sit back. They don't support him other than that. You really think that he can just continue to do this? You think, okay, let's look at next month. You think next month people are still going to feel the fucking, frenzy of, shit, we got to save Phil? That wears off. And he can't go on another campaign like this again next month or a month after that. Can you imagine if this doesn't carry over through this holiday season, whatever the fuck? Can you imagine if he tries to pull this shit in December and tries to do this exact same thing? A week of fucking pre-stream bitching and then a dedicated vlog and weekend preview. Like, he's done, I think, 7 videos just this week. It started on Sunday with the weekend preview. Actually, no, it started Sunday pre-stream, I think. There was a pre-stream first. Then he did an entire weekend preview. So from Sunday to now, he released this on Saturday. We're covering it on Sunday. For an entire week, he's been doing the shit. You think he can pull that again and have this shit happen again? In such a short span of time? This is the Hail Mary. He better maximize this shit as much as he can, because people are gonna remember that he did this shit. If he does it again in a couple months, fucking January or some shit, people are gonna be like, you already fucking did this and we already gave you what we could. You can't just do this, snap your fingers and we all come out and open our wallets to you.
Well, on top of that, he needs to stop taking the lavish 20 minutes vacations from his house and spending a week in a hipster hotel and all that.
The staycation.
Yeah, the staycation, 20 minutes from your house. I work further away from my house than that, and it's just ridiculous. They spend $1,000 on a vacation where he could have just drove there for the day with Leanna and done everything that they did.
Oh, man. That good old staycation. Happened at the worst time, too. All right. Anything else? Let's move on.
If you're seeing this video, this is the first you're hearing of this, and you watch my daily live streams or you watch my daily gameplay videos on DSP Gaming, you love my vlogging here on the King of Hate Vlogs, and you really like what I've been doing over on KO Gaming with the new video style I've been putting out this year, and you want to see me continue to do this, as little as $1 a month. It's nothing to you in a lot of cases, and I'll say this, I'm fully aware there are some people, viewers of mine, $1 is a ton of money, okay? For us in the United States, it's nothing. We can't buy a pack of gum. We can't buy any food. You can't even buy an onion at your grocery store for $1 in most cases.
I can.
Okay?
I could probably
So
buy 2
$1 to
onions
us is
for
nothing.
$1.
I understand that's from my frame of reference that I say that. But if a bunch of people pledge $1, it means a lot. It could keep me doing this in the long term. So thank you to those who have pledged. Please, I hope you keep your pledges moving forward, because that's going to support me and allow me to keep doing this. And if you have not pledged yet, get in on it. I'm telling you, this is how I'm going to be able to do this long term. And It'll get me up in the morning energized and positive that people want to see me keep doing this rather than me every day stressing out about fucking views and who's going to show up and who's going to watch what game. That's why I adopted Patreon last year to begin with. So if I can make enough money doing it, that I don't have that pressure. The problem is, last year the false copyright strikes completely fucked my business.
Whoa.
And now I'm not in the position where I'm sitting pretty and Patreon's helping me with that
Sitting
anymore.
pretty.
I just need to pay my fucking bills. Okay? Now, let's address a couple things, because there's been some suggestions this week of things that I could do to improve. All right? Things that I can do to make my business better and or make it more popular and keep doing this on YouTube full time. There's some I want to address and tell you what I think is a good idea and what's a bad idea, and I want to get your feedback if you're a viewer who wasn't involved in that discussion, all right? So first off, some people said, well, Phil, your Patreon in general, the perks. Take a look at the perks that you have on Patreon. So just so you know, if you're not aware, if you pledge $1 a month, you get a text thank you in my weekend preview videos. It's a text crawl at the end of every video. So 3 to 4 videos a month, you're guaranteed to have your name in a video as a thank you.
All right.
$5 a month, you get premium forum access, you get a custom title on my forums on thekingofhate.com, and you get to participate in any event that's going on this month. So, for example, this month, if you pledge by the end of October, and you pledge $5 in November, you're going to be nominating and voting on indie games that I'm going to play in a marathon at the end of November, okay? That's a lot of power. That determines directly what I'm going to be playing for a whole day. In fact, this October horror marathon that's going to happen on Halloween in a couple days already is determined already by the patrons. They had a ton of power in determining what I did in that event. And that's awesome power. $5, you could jump in and formulate an event that's coming up in the future. Wow, that's a lot of power. For $10, you get all that stuff, plus you actually get a verbal thank you in a video where I say thank you to you in a video, and right now it's been my Ask the King series, because that's a good segment. A lot of people are watching. It's a vlog-style video where people will get their name out there, okay? For $20, you can get your question actually answered on Ask the King for free, for sure is what I meant to say. 100% chance I will answer your question on Ask the King if you pledge $20 or more. And then $50, you get your own private Q&A video. So you get to actually ask me a question that I'm going to answer for like 20 to 25 minutes.
When's the last Ask the
tons
King
of
that's
questions.
been
A lot of
out?
people ask a
Like,
ton of stuff. I
what's
just had
up with that?
someone ask me all about
That's a
streaming
fucking
and the
permanent.
technical stuff behind YouTube, and I gave them a lot of
That's a
information there.
permanent
A lot of
perk.
questions I get are personal. So if you've watched my stuff over the years,
And
and
he
you've had
hasn't done
burning
that in,
questions
like,
you've ever wanted
months.
to have answered, and you want to contribute, $50, you get this private video from me. Okay, I've
Makes
not
it
had
sound like
one
it's
single
sexy.
person who's ever pledged $50 tell me that they did not love the video. They
Ooh.
love them. Because I
Get
go
real
above and
intimate.
beyond, okay?
He
To make sure
strips,
these videos are
you know?
entertaining and informative and
It's like
good.
what Sonny was doing from the
So
WWE.
those are the perk levels that I have right now. Now, a lot of people this week said, well, why don't you have better perks? Like, for example, there's YouTubers out there who, for $1 a month or $5
Yeah,
a
why
month,
do your
you
perks
get
suck ass?
early access to all their stuff.
Oh, here
They have
we
an
go.
exclusive stream
Oh,
they
boy.
do,
All right.
Or they have an
I
exclusive
can't wait
video
for this.
series that they put out. Early access is great,
Here
and
we
almost
go.
all YouTubers who use Patreon do it. Why don't you? I can answer that directly for you, and this is the God's honest truth. When I was setting up my Patreon in early 2015, I wanted to do that. And I immediately heard through the grapevine that the certain group of people, you know, those same fucking people that put copyright strikes against my channel and swat me
Oh, we
and do all
didn't
this
do
nasty
those.
shit to me because they're really vile fucking human beings.
Ah,
Guess what they said? They
I thought we're
publicly
nice. I think
said
we're
this
nice.
on social media. If Phil puts anything hidden behind a paywall on Patreon, we will just fucking basically become a Patreon subscriber. We won't reveal who we are.
Oh.
All right. So one person, $1 a month or $5. Wow, it's not going to help me that much. It's one person. It's going to basically.
Oh, but you
infiltrate
want
my
$1.
Patreon.
What are you?
And then they're going to immediately, when all these private things get shown, or let's say, for example, I upload a video early, a video review. You get exclusive access for 2 days if you're a patron. Everyone else has to wait 2 days. So I make it a private or a unlisted video on YouTube, and you can only see it if you have the link. So obviously, I'll send that link out to the patrons. This one inside asshole is going to send that information publicly to the world. All right?
Inside-
They'll
I love
either
that
rip the
term. I love
video
that
and
term.
post it on their own channel, or they'll get that link, the
Inside
unlisted link, and just
information
post it
asshole, that's
publicly on
perfect.
We'll
social
pause it a
media,
second,
so that
hold on.
everyone who wants to see the video can just watch it anyway, therefore making that perk level completely worthless. This is what I was threatened with when I wanted to set up my fucking
Threatened.
Patreon last year. Tell me what the fuck I've ever done in my life to deserve the shit that I've gotten. Seriously.
All right, that's the pause, though. All right. There's a lot to unpack here. All right,
Good
so
phase.
yes. All right, so cheap plug. I saw this last night, and I put together a video. I'll put it out like tonight or tomorrow or whatever. We're recording this on Sunday. So Phil is saying that, man, oh man, when I was setting up that Patreon, what I really wanted to do was get in some fucking exclusive access. Boy, would I love to do that. And if you guys remember Being a Man Part 2, I actually showed his comments on exactly that thing in April of 2014. So about a year before he wanted to set up his Patreon, because he was setting up his Patreon. Let's see, it would have been like December of 2014, and then he set it up in like January. So fresh 2015, he started his Patreon. So I'd say 8 months before he was really getting serious about Patreon and setting it up, he actually didn't ask the king question. Then I asked him, Phil, what do you think about Patreon? Would you ever do it? And he says, absolutely not, because it sounds like I'd have to give you some sort of premium content. It sounds like I'd have to, make it so that there's early access or something like that to videos. I don't agree with that at all. I think it's a slap in the face to my longtime viewers that you don't have the money to pledge and now you get locked out of stuff. That's not fair. I will never, ever change my business model to be that. And so when we heard him say that he's going to go back on that, we were like, that's kind of fucked up. And that's not fair. And I agree with you. And we agreed with Phil strongly on that exact point, that that's not fair to his longtime viewers and stuff like that, that they get locked out of shit just because they don't have the money to give him money. So we said, you know what? We're going to stand up for them. We didn't threaten him. We just said on the podcast randomly, well, we're going to pledge to your Patreon. At that point, it was supposed to be $1 for anything. So we were saying, we'll pledge $1 and we're going to release that because it's the right thing to do. You said yourself, not even a year prior, that it would be unfair to your viewers and yada, yada, yada if you were to fence some shit behind a paywall, early access, yada, yada. And we said, you know what? We agree with that. We agree with what you said 8 months ago. We don't agree with what you said 8 minutes ago, and therefore we're going to, we're gonna make things right with your viewers. We're gonna do your viewers a favor. We're gonna right the wrong that you're gonna commit on them. And that's it. It's simple. We're just gonna fucking share the video. We're agreeing with you 8 months in the past, and now he's over here. This is ridiculous. I can't believe that I wasn't able to go back on my morals and shit like that to squeeze a few pennies off of people. This is fucking ridiculous. Well, I mean, that's the reason why he did that. And so he's saying that we threaten them. We're disgusting people, yada, yada. And it's also nice. Do you notice what he did here? Do you guys notice what he did here? He lumped us in with who he got swatted by and who he got copyright strikes by, of which we did neither. But he wants to slowly slip that in. It's sort of casual now, the way he mentions it. So if you find out that we're the ones that did the sort of, we're going to release the fucking paywall shit, then you would be like, the Sons of Kojima. Wait, you're saying the Sons of Kojima are the ones that swatted you and fucking did false copyright strikes? That's fucked up. He's just trying to make that, he's trying to sow the narrative that these fucking people did all this negative shit to him and shit like that. And by proxy, he's blaming us now. It's that simple. Any other thoughts on his paywall comments, the disgusting pieces of shit? What did he ever do to deserve this?
It's sickening. He goes behind his word, constantly, and then he justifies a reason. He talks shit. Like the whole time he was talking shit against Minecraft, and then that was one of the first Patreon playthroughs he did.
Absolutely.
And he's trying to justify everything's like, I grew as a person.
Because I played Minecraft.
It's sickening.
I've played a popular game that millions of people have played. I have expanded my taste and palette. Let us continue.
Like everyone else on planet Earth can use Patreon in a nice way, and I have to limit what I do because of these pieces of shit. These human pieces of shit want to ruin me and ruin my life. And this is what I mean. Like, it's awful.
Ruin your life.
Years, and this is one of them.
ruin your life by...
So sadly, no. I'm sorry, everyone. I would like to have a private show. I would love to have advanced access to a review or maybe my
Private
year-end
show.
series.
Yeah.
You see it
A
2
strip
days
tease.
early,
Sounds so
coming up if
wrong.
you're a patron.
Yeah,
Can't
the
do it.
striptease.
Can't do it
Oh,
because of these
God.
fucking scumbags. Okay? So that's out of the question.
Call the
That's not a perk I can
scumbags.
do.
Fazzy, he called you a
Some
scumbag,
people
dude.
said, "Well, Phil, why don't you just if you really
Okay,
want a
good
lot of
for
people to
him.
pledge $1, why not just make everything for $1, right? Why not make it so that forum access and voting on events and everything is just $1? Because I'll tell you why. It's logistics. Because
I'm
every
lazy.
month when I get people who pledge $5 or more, I have to sort through this giant fucking file.
Oh,
that Patreon
giant.
sends me. And by the way,
Downtime.
it's not sorted either. I
Yeah,
have
it's
to
lay
sort
around
through
time.
It takes
Lay around
hours
time.
of work to get through it and order it per how much every person pledged and what cleared and everything. And then I have to get all their information. I have to message all of them on Patreon, get their email information and their forum information. I then have to file all that out and send it to my webmaster.
File it out?
He then takes that
Webmaster.
listing that
I
I
thought he
gave
doesn't
him
have a
and
staff.
does the upgrades every month. There's no automated system. This is what people don't seem to realize. I am a one-man show. There's no automated system, right? I'm not a big company. I don't have other people working for me to do the busy work like this.
You mean your webmaster?
And the bottom line is I work so much. I stream so much. I play so many games and put out so much content that I don't have time to do this stuff. So for me, it's tough to even make it happen now with the 50 or some people who pledge $5 or more a month. Now imagine if that quadrupled. Imagine if 400 people a month are pledging
That's some
$1,
bad
and now I
math.
have
That
to
would be
process
8 times, not 4.
400 forum upgrades. I would not have time to work. It would be my month. So that's why things that are going to be time consuming, like a forum upgrade or premium access to something, has to be something simple or quick, or I can't make it that lower level, or else, you know what I mean? The thing that whatever the dollar level is on Patreon, it has to be something reasonable and feasible that's quick and not time consuming. And that's my challenge right now is I can't find anything. The things that I've like the text thank you in a video is kind of easy. I could just sort this file that I get from Patreon and put the names into a video, and it doesn't take that long.
But you can't do that to
anything
send
else,
that
you
to
know what I mean?
Onyx.
Like, what else
It's the
could I
same
possibly do?
process.
There's been other suggestions. You should do private meet and greets in Seattle. That would never work. I'd get 2 people to do it. You know what I mean? It would never work. Those kind of perks don't work. A lot of other things. Well, for some people, they get to vote in polls or suggest things. I already do that. I already do have that as perks. The $5 perk is what that is. Or if you're talking about daily polls, I do those on Twitter because it takes too long to set up stuff on the forums and then direct patrons to my forums to vote on these things. Wouldn't work. All right? And other people, well, what about Q&A questions and stuff? I already do that. That's what I mean. Like, a lot of the things that other YouTubers do as their Patreon perks, I do for free. I've been doing for free for 8 fucking years. So it's hard for me to say, this is the thing that I could do to make Patreon more attractive to everyone. Okay? So what I need from everyone is obviously not only your Patreon support, I need your actual concrete suggestions on something that's not time consuming, but something that could be interesting that I could do as a Patreon perk that isn't something that, you know, I need a team of people to do, or I need to spend money. That's the other thing. Phil doesn't do giveaways anymore. If you were a Patreon, you could get into an exclusive giveaway. Well, first of all, that's against Patreon terms of service, but I know people still do it. I have no money, so I can't buy things to give
Well,
away.
neither do we.
You know what I
We've
mean?
done
Shipping
several
costs. I used
giveaways.
to do the Hardcore Gaming Season
We're not
giveaway.
fucking
The
rich.
last year I did it was 2014. You want to know why? Because that year I moved. I was already in debt up to my eyeballs from moving, and I spent, I'm not exaggerating, over the course of 3 months, over $1,000 shipping games. Just fucking video games. Worldwide. Because that's how expensive shipping
Where's the
costs
proof?
is.
There's no
Okay?
fucking
So,
proof.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore, man. I can't. I don't have anything to give away. I can't afford the shipping. I can't do these giveaways. So that's not a valid perk anymore. I need your suggestions. What the hell could I do as a valid Patreon perk? Okay?
Valid.
Some other things that people said this week. Actually, hold on, because my phone just vibrated. I want to make sure nothing important. Okay.
Your bank account reached
Some
0.
other suggestions people made this week. Well, I should stream less.
Leanna
right
telling him to
now,
stop
I'm
being a
streaming
fucking
at
idiot.
least
I fell
once a
down
day
the
for
stairs
3.5 hours of gameplay. I should stream less. Some people
I'm
even said,
currently
Phil,
falling
over
down the
years, I've said,
stairs.
streaming is not profitable. And let me explain
Slowly.
something. When I streamed on Twitch TV for 2 years, all right? When I started, it was actually profitable. But over the course of the 2 years that I streamed there, by the time that I was done, by the way, I didn't have any significant dip in viewership on Twitch when I was streaming. I was still a pretty constant level of people who would turn out for my streams. The ad revenue that I made on Twitch dropped probably by about, and I'm not exaggerating here, about 75%. When I started on Twitch, in early 2013, I could have a stream of about 500 to 1,000 people for a few hours, and I would make like $100. And then by the time that I was done, the 2 years that I streamed on Twitch, that same fucking stream, same viewers, same everything, same length, I would make $5. I'm not even kidding you. The ad revenue on Twitch is a fucking abysmal. Twitch lost their advertisers for whatever reason. Maybe people figured out that they're not getting any payoff from people watching ads on Twitch or whatever. I don't know. Which is why Twitch is all about subscriptions. You gotta subscribe. Get those custom emotes and shit. Subscribe. That's what
It's a
everyone
nice
over
impression.
there is all about their subs.
All right.
Now, I was never about that. I was not willing to sacrifice the quality of my gameplay or my streams to constantly be giving shout-outs to people who were subbing and talk about subs and push the subs, so I barely got any. And I wasn't making much, if any, money streaming on Twitch. It was fan service. It was because people wanted to see me do stuff live. So then when I came to YouTube in late 2014, all right, I was making ad revenue at least during the time that people were watching the streams. And that is the truth. Right now, for any stream on any given day, I probably make just as much as, say, a major gameplay video. So, for example, if it's premiere day for a new game, and I stream that game, and it gets decent viewership, I probably make just as much money on that stream as, like, maybe the first video in the series for that playthrough. So it's okay. It's not great. It's a little bit, but it's okay. At least the streaming isn't a waste of my time completely, and I get nothing out of it. I do get a little bit of something out of it. But as you know, when I live stream, I'm not, besides the pre-stream, which is 20 minutes before I start gameplay. And by the way, everyone complains. It's to the point now where, like, I keep explaining to people, I'm in dire straits, I need help, I need to advertise, you need to participate. And then I do my pre-stream where I do a few ads a day for maybe 10 minutes, and everyone in the stream chat bitching, like a little entitled kid. More ads, he's doing it again, he's doing... What
Wow.
the
Yeah,
fuck?
'cause let's
I want to give you a
insult your
free
hardcore
3.5
viewing
hour
base.
gameplay stream, and you're complaining because I'm giving
We'll pause
a
in a
few
second.
plugs
Yeah,
beforehand
we'll give
to
it a
pay my
second.
fucking bills. I mean, talk about being immature and not a logical being that just doesn't understand how fucking business works, that you're going to sit there and complain. Really.
All right, now we'll pause. Okay, so these people that go to his IRC, I think it would be safe to assume that these people jump through the hoop to go to IRC in the first place, learn how to use IRC, are trustworthy enough to be in the IRC because, you know, we all get IP banned immediately and shit like that. So I think it'd be pretty safe to assume that the people that actually go to the IRC are some pretty, you know, not hardcore fans. I don't say, oh, they're all hardcore, but they're some loyal fans. There's some fucking, you know, dedicated fans of his. No? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Yeah. I would agree.
So he's over there saying that, oh, these people are sick of my advertisements every pre-stream and shit. Fuck them. They're immature. They don't understand the shit. It's like what I said. He shows up already 20 minutes to half hour late to pre-stream anyway. And by the time they're ready to get some fucking game shit going, they already know that he's going to stop at 4 p.m. his time, so they want to get the most of the game that they can possibly get. And it's dependent. It's usually his game streams are day one premieres, brand new games and shit like that. So these people they're probably restless. They want to see the fucking game already. And he's over there taking like an hour of their time before he even starts, and he's guaranteed to stop because he needs his fucking layaround time. He needs to eat. You know, he doesn't make up for late streams by going later. So they're probably restless. They're saying, shit, get this fucking shit done with. We already know. We're the ones that are here in the trenches every fucking day. We get it already. Who do you think he's broadcasting the pre-stream to? You know? And so he's insulting these people too. Like, we could probably just keep a tally of all the people he's insulted in this fucking video. He's insulting fans of mainstream gaming YouTubers. He's insulting people that like edited videos. He's insulting people that are his hardcore fans. He's insulting people that are giving him suggestions and telling them they're fucking stupid too. Like, this is not the way to go about this video at all. Anything else
No.
before we go out? Go ahead, Triz.
And even that, like you said too, these are the people that show up daily, and he's over there being like, yeah, fuck him, like the entitled assholes. Like, no, he's killing off all the people who watch his video. Then he's complaining, why aren't anybody watching my video?
if he has a fan base left after 2016 is over, I will be honestly surprised. I mean, he is just going above and beyond to insult people now.
Mm-hmm. What is that fucking movie? It's like something how to insult people and alienate your friends or something. This is what he's doing. This guy is making enemies in this video.
The thing is, and this, this can't be really all on Phil. Like, yeah, Phil is trashing everybody who watches, donates, and, constantly complaining. But then again, we still have people who are watching, who are donating, who are, spending that time, just the constant, bickering. People, who don't get a kick, they're like, oh, Phil's an inspiration, Phil's a role model. At what point do you really need to say it's let's not consider this a role model. Let's move on from this, because he doesn't care about you besides money. That's all he cares.
That is absolutely correct. It's got to be. He wants suggestions. He wants the easiest shit he can do for the money. He wants to fucking keep this going for the money. It's all business. This is not. He tries to sugarcoat. Oh, this is something I enjoy and shit like that. No. It's about the money. Anybody else? Continue.
But I digress. That's it. That's the only time I even advertise is that. You know what I mean? You never see a video on YouTube. Oh, by the way, do this and this and give me money for this and this. Never do I make that kind of video. This is a rare occurrence in a video like this now where I'm actually talking about this stuff.
It's a rare occurrence. You did it all week.
Really? The daily
This was the culmination of a week of shit.
Doesn't equate into anything super profitable. So a lot of people have been saying I should stream less. Now, they're not saying don't stream at all. A lot of people have been recommending that I change my stream methods. That maybe I only stream once or twice a week. And when I do, those are the multiplayer sessions where maybe I'm doing online gameplay with other people. And I'm interacting a little bit more with stream chat and stuff. So it is more like maybe a Twitch stream or whatever. But I don't know how that would work. First of all, I could not stream at all. I could just never stream again. And yeah, I would see a dip there, but maybe more people would watch my videos on demand on YouTube. I don't know. It would be basically going back to 2012. It would be capture, so it would look good, but there would be no live streams. I don't know how that would go down. If anything, people who enjoy watching my streams might just go away completely and say, well, that's not fair, and leave. So I'm afraid to do it. Okay? Doing only multiplayer streaming is tough because, as you know, especially now, this busy time of year, I'm every day doing something different. Today I'm playing the Titanfall campaign. Maybe tomorrow I'm playing a multiplayer game. The day after, it's not like I have one day a week that I can schedule. I'm doing multiplayer on this day because I need to get through games so I can review them. I can't say, I'm going to play the Titanfall campaign on Tuesday and Wednesday, but I'm not doing the multiplayer till Saturday. Therefore, the review can't come out for 2 weeks. No one's going to care about the review if it's 2 weeks late. So that's the thing, is I don't know if I could even juggle my schedule around like that. Okay? So, reducing the amount of streams. First of all, by the way, I used to stream 2 major streams every day. We're talking 5 to 8 hours of gameplay every day I used to stream. I don't do that anymore. At least I stream maybe 3 to 3.5 hours of gameplay. At most, I stream maybe 5 or 6. But I've drastically reduced the amount of streaming I used to do. And that's how KO Gaming came to be, because I took that time to work on videos for KO Gaming. If I hadn't, KO Gaming couldn't exist, right? The time that I put into those videos.
Yeah.
So, does that make sense? Could I realistically reduce the amount that I stream, and would that really even help my business? But that was a suggestion that people made. Another suggestion, and I'm going to very, very clearly explain to you why this is not going to ever happen. Phil, just go back to Twitch, bite the bullet, go back to Twitch TV, and stream there exclusively, and stream like everyone else on Twitch TV, where you do streams that are catered toward your viewing audience, so it's more of an interactive stream between you and your audience.
Why does it have to be to this extreme? Why can't it just be go back to Twitch and that's it?
And you'll get more attention and stuff like that, all right? I have many responses to this.
All right.
Okay. First of all, bullshit. And I call it right now. Bullshit. Anyone who thinks that going back to Twitch TV and streaming there is the magic solution to all of my problems is just so deluded. All right. It may temporarily give me some kind of a boost, but it's not going to give me any kind of long-term
Pause
growth.
for a second.
I was on Twitch TV for 2.
This just in general. Hold on a second. Fucking
Good old airplane there. Shout out to American Airlines, or maybe that's South by Southwest. Maybe that's Southwest. I almost said
fucking
South by
annoying. That's what
Southwest.
that is.
I don't know.
All right.
Ask by the sound of the plane fizz. What do you think?
Yeah, you probably can tell the engine. The engine's running a little cold
That's,
this morning. I don't know what they did. They didn't warm it
that's
up
the-
properly.
7:15 to LA Southwest.
They're running a little late. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. But anyway, this whole segment, this
Segment. Yeah, this section of it. This
section of the video. His whole video is titled "Serious Update, I Need Help to Keep Going." But what he's doing right now is, people offer, suggestions. They may not be, like, in his eyes, good suggestions or possible suggestions, but they're suggestions nevertheless.
Right.
And what he's doing right now is he's trashing every single suggestion.
Right. They're saying they would fundamentally change him as a person and turn him into a fraud. Like he's saying that these suggestions are of poor moral character.
I mean,
And
sorry, go ahead.
These suggestions are they're not like it's not like they're trying to be fucking bad to Phil about it, and he's being so venomous in his response toward it.
You'd be turning me into a bad person, so shame on you.
No, and he's just like, he's doing things like, oh, you're delusional. Anyone who thinks that is delusional. It's like, Jesus Christ, they just offered a fucking suggestion.
Just say why it won't work, and that's it. Don't fucking add the extra seasoning to be like, and you're fucking stupid too.
Even then, too, this whole thing of, like, just the venom of suggestions, who's going to offer him suggestions after this?
Who cares about him after this? You're right. No, you're absolutely right. And the other thing too, I think what's sort of it's discouraging also, because I saw he got a lot of walls of text, he got a lot of giant forum posts, a lot of giant comments on the YouTube video and shit like that of people that are legitimately trying to help him for whatever fucking reason. I'll never understand it, but there are people that are just fucking frenzied by this and panicked and, oh, we gotta save Phil because this really has to fucking continue at all costs and shit. They're trying to help him, and he's saying that these things. Let's put this into perspective. This is what he wants. He wants a suggestion that's going to make him a ton of money from a lot of people with no effort, no investment, and no time given to it. He wants a quick and easy way to convince people to just give him free money every month. Does that sound like an easy fucking fix? Like, he wants a magic solution. He wants this magical thing where he can just, like, click one button and that instantly fulfills everybody's need to feel vindicated for giving him, or feel justified for giving him money every month. And have that apply to... He's using terms like, 800 people, like, giving $1 and shit like that. He has in his mind that he needs to open this up so that he can magically do something so that hundreds, if not thousands of people will all give him $1. And not only that, not only does he want something that has such a broad appeal, but it also has to be zero effort, zero investment. Go ahead, guys. It's on you guys to fucking help me out and come up with this magical fucking idea. You know what? You could probably put this to a group. You could probably hire like a fucking PR firm or whatever, a consulting group, and they wouldn't be able to give him a fucking good idea for something that's going to like narrowly fit the criteria he's giving to people. Zero effort, zero fucking anything, but maximum profit from maximum people.
Yeah, he's expecting people to essentially give him a foolproof way to win the lottery. It's just
Absolutely.
Like the hole you've dug yourself in, that he's dug himself in, he's going to have to accept that no matter what suggestions he gets, he's going to have to make some you could say difficult changes.
Absolutely.
There's no easy, painless solution to this. The hole is too deep. It's been too long.
Let's sort of put this in perspective, and this is the way to do it. What he's done, he's gotten away with doing it for this long. But instead of recognizing that, instead of being appreciative and saying, you know what, I really fucking got ahead these past years. I really, if I'm being realistic with myself, I really didn't put all that much effort in. I really got a lot of time to myself. I got to buy a house. I got to drive a BMW. I got to do all these things and all that shit. Instead of looking at it like that, he looks at it as, I've been doing a lot and this needs to continue. There can be no changes on my behalf, and it's not that I've been getting away with shit. It's that I've been so talented and I've been working so hard, and this has to continue in this form. No. You've been getting away with shit, and it's finally catching up with you. The reality is starting to hit you, and instead of realizing that, he's saying that this is wrong. No. There needs to be some sort of way to circumvent reality catching up with me. No. Everybody pays the piper eventually. This was going to catch up with him. He was just pushing this down the road further and further, kicking the can down the road. And now he's at the end of the road.
The phrase "bite the bullet" applies greatly here. You're going to have to bite the bullet. There's no bulletless solution to this. It's going to be painful one way or the other. You are going to have to do something that you don't want to do.
Right.
That's the reality of it.
Right. And sacrificing your dignity to make a video like this is not like the solution. And I'm sure he's probably frustrated that this didn't do what he thought it would. Yes, it did give him a couple, I don't even think a couple hundred. I think it was like 100 and something extra. If he's in as much trouble as he says he is, $100 extra a month is not going to do it. And he says that often. Like, I need 800 people. I need thousands of dollars. If this was what he was able to rally by hitting every siren that he has and using every method that he can do to convince these people that they need to give him money, and this is the turnout that he got, an extra $100 for just this month. I mean, we'll see if this continues extra, throughout the year and into 2017. An extra $100 this month. Is that going to save him from having to refinance his house? Talking about borrowing money from his parents and shit like that. $100? That's maybe the Comcast bill for his residential line. He's got a business line. I know that's more than $100. That extra money on Patreon maybe just paid for his cable bill. To Comcast.
Doesn't he have 2 business lines?
I think he has a business line, a residential line, and then Xfinity cable. And I don't think you can bundle that. I don't think that's a bundle. I don't think you can bundle business internet. So he's probably got a bundle of some sort for like cable internet, and then he's probably got the business line individually. So, but anyways, so that's sort of the big picture thing I just wanted to lay out to you guys, is that in reality, he's been getting away with this. In reality, he's been very fortunate and very lucky. I'll say it, lucky. He's been very lucky and fortunate to have these opportunities he's had and the amount of effort and time that he's put into it. And instead of realizing that, he's fighting against it and saying, no, it's not that I should count my blessings. I should fight against this, and this should continue no matter what. I deserve it, So, any further comment before we move on?
And just to bounce off of that too, the issue with all of that is Phil doesn't want to change his lifestyle.
Yes.
He's still going to find an excuse. He'll find an excuse to do staycations. He's still going to do, those weekly DSP tries it for things that he shouldn't fucking buy if he's in such dire straits.
He will put Leanna to work before he goes himself. And that's another comment I saw, was like, well, Leanna has a job. You can't do that either. What's different? Why can't you do it? So,
well, on top of that, any potential employer that sees a video with like this, that's going to see how hard he's going to work to be as lazy as possible, they're not going to hire him. I wouldn't want to hire him. I wouldn't want him anywhere near a place I worked if I saw a video like this. I mean, he is begging for money and asking people to give him money so that he doesn't have to go out and do something. I want work to be fun. I want work to be this. I want work to be that. Well, guess what? Work's not fun. It's a lot of hard labor half the time, and half the time you're sitting there doing a lot of stuff that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
exactly. Like jobs nowadays, they really look at your online history to make sure you're not doing like any crazy shit.
Yeah.
I just typed in Phil Burnell on Google right now. The first thing that comes up is his ED page.
Of course. And the other thing too, I mean, I think Phil has been called every negative adjective and noun in the book on the internet so far. You know, it's just the way it is. He's been called all sorts of negatives, publicly, and he has revealed his real name. He never had to do that. That's a problem too. He shouldn't have done that. He should have just been Dark Side Phil, and I think he might have been able to get away with that for quite a while. He doesn't have any real life friends who would have been like, "Hey, actually, that's Phil Burnell," you know. So he could have gotten away with that for a while.
Yeah, like he can't use his YouTube channel as like a reference for his job. Like they look at that on YouTube, they're gonna say nope.
But what else does he have then? He just laid around for 8 years. Like, his job gap is from 2009 to now.
2010.
2010 to now. What's he gonna? How do you explain that? You have to. He has to. He has to say that he had this YouTube channel. There's no other way about it.
Yeah, he fucked himself there. This channel is poison to his resume.
A little low, Tyler.
There's no way around it.
You back?
Sorry about that. I had to fuck with my mic a little bit.
Oh,
Better?
Sometimes you just get low. We can't hear you that good, so you're good now.
Okay, so like what I was saying was, this channel is all he's got, and it's poison to his resume. He fucked himself with how he's been treating this business, how he's been treating his customers. He has no positive feedback other than the few crazy people that will support him no matter what.
Crazy people.
Like he's gonna have to hope to God that his dad can get him another job like wherever he works or whatnot.
Can he?
Like, wait. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean,
that's what he did for the helicopter place he worked at.
Yeah, but I mean,
He'll have to move back east.
At that point, when he got the helicopter job, he had just gotten out of college. He had some work experience at like Circuit City, and he said he was tossing salads at the mall and shit. So
I think he worked for some like insurance company that was a scam, and he hated it, so that's why he didn't work there.
Yeah, so he actually had relevant and pertinent job history, and just got out of college, and was at a point in his life where like that amount of job history and just getting out of college and shit, all that is acceptable. Like, you'd be like, okay, yeah, that's a guy we'll give a chance and see if he can grow and develop as a asset to our company. What company wants Phil? Like, you can see all of his negative traits, the way that he is, the way he interacts with people, the way that he thinks about himself. Good luck trying to incorporate him into your fucking staff and see how he gets along with people and shit. He's not a team player. He's gonna come up with ways to fucking do shit as easily as possible. He's not going to contribute. He's not going to do his fair share. And he's going to be complaining about the higher ups. Phil is the type of person that's going to be in the break room or wherever else, talking to his coworkers and talking about how much the higher ups are fucking them over and how everything is a fucking conspiracy and shit like that. Oh, these big wigs at the fucking thing. He's just going to be bitching and complaining and always acting like he's not getting his fair share, while not contributing his own fair share. So,
I mean, the only thing he'll be lucky to get at this point is retail or food, and even then, he's not gonna settle for something that's like bottom of the line minimum wage. It's gonna be basically, that's a defeat. I'd rather just not have a job if I'm gonna make minimum wage.
Yeah.
But anything else that requires any sorts of background search, they'd be like, nope, we're not hiring you.
No thanks.
Maybe Leanna can put in a good word for him at the mall.
There you go. He could toss salads again at the mall. All right, anything else?
He'd probably just be a stripper.
What the fuck? He's not going to be a stripper.
How dare you put that image in my head?
A stripper for the blind, maybe. I don't know.
No, try getting that image out of your head.
I already have. I've been very successful to get that image out.
If you think about Phil as a stripper, I mean,
I don't want to.
Good. That's been settled. All right.
There's a market for stripper Phil.
Shut the fuck up.
I hate you.
Yeah. Let's continue on.
2 years. Guess how much growth I saw in the 2 years on Twitch TV? 0. I saw no active growth from my streaming on Twitch. If anything, Twitch actually, by the end of the 2 years, became more of a hassle because you had people who were in the stream chat who were subs. They were now entitled. We're entitled to constant new emotes and being entertained, and you have to cater to our ways because we're your Twitch subs. You have to do what we tell you all the time, and if you don't listen to our feedback, how dare you have us sub? And I had all this drama and people in the stream chat causing drama and shit.
Oh, we know some of those people.
It was so distracting from me just being able to play games and enjoy them, honestly.
Wow. So interaction was a negative.
And like I said, by the end of the 2 years that I streamed there, I was making almost no money live streaming on Twitch anymore, to the point where it wasn't even... It was more of a pain in my ass than anything else. And then the straw that broke the camel's back is when I was streaming at around 5,000 kilobits or kilobytes per second. I forget if it's bytes or bits, excuse me. Which was above
9,000.
Twitch's recommended threshold for streaming. The reason I did it is because I was playing a few games that year on PlayStation 4 that really needed a higher bitrate. If you didn't stream at a higher bitrate, they looked like shit. They would pixelate like crazy. I was actually playing Assassin's Creed Unity, I remember, and the game did pixelate like crazy while I was playing it, I remember, and I was like, I have to do this at a higher bitrate. And a mod came in to my stream chat and told me that I needed to immediately lower my bitrate or I was basically going to have my stream terminated. I was going to be kicked from the site. So I had a conversation with the guy, and he basically said that even though it is kind of a rough guide and there is no concrete black-white what you can stream on Twitch, that they prefer that you stream at 3,500 kilobits per second, and if I go above that, they have the right to terminate my streams and kick me off the site. And basically, I was now being given the official notice from Twitch staff that they noticed that I'm streaming at a higher bitrate than what they like, and if I continue to do it, that they were going to get rid of me. Okay?
Yeah.
So I thought about it. I took one day to think about it, and I said, fuck this. I'm getting nothing out of streaming on Twitch. I'm not a constant shill and advertiser like they want me to be so I can make money through subs. I'm not willing to degrade the quality of my
Twitch wants you to fucking advertise
on Twitch.
Yeah.
So what's the benefit? Now I'm being told I can't even record and stream at the quality that I want. Because the bottom line is, if I did 3,500 kilobits per second, I cannot do 1080p video. It will look pixelated as hell. I cannot do 60 frames per second video. It will look pixelated as hell.
Most of the games he plays are not in 60 frames per second,
okay,
so I
would
don't
have
know
to
why
go
he's whining about that.
720p and 30 frames per second, which is so outdated at this point. All right, it is. These new consoles, everyone thinks do either. A lot of them are doing 900p or 1080p resolution. So I'd have to be forced to give you inferior visuals to the game that I'm playing, and I wouldn't be able to do 60 frames per second. And I'm sorry, tons of games today play at 60 frames per second. Tons. And they need that to look good. Playing them at 30 frames per second, they look like shit. You're not getting the real experience of that game.
There we go.
I love this whole thing of like, oh, tons of games play at 60 frames per second. How many times does Phil bitch that the game isn't playing at 60 frames per second?
Yeah. That's been a struggle. That's been a struggle this generation to hit that sweet spot of 1080-60. There's been a lot of compromises. There's been 900p, like he says. There's been 1080-30. There's been, I don't really know of any instances of 720p all that much, but I mean, there's a lot of 900p, a lot of 1080p, and a lot of times 30 frames. You know, Uncharted 4 had to sort of do 60 frames for multiplayer, but 30 frames for the single player. There's been a lot of games that have had to sort of hit that trade-off, and you know, it affects different people differently. Some people really want the 60, some people want the 30, but that's been the story of this generation. I mean, really, when you look at articles and stuff like that, the story has been we want that sweet spot of 1080-60, and it's been sort of an arms race for Sony and Microsoft to deliver that, what people want. That is the new standard, but so far, you know, only recently have we started to really pick up on that. You know, Doom and stuff like that have actually been going 1080-60, but the story of this generation has been them trying to attain that and consumers voicing that they want that. So, yeah, I don't know.
But no, Phil's gonna make the grand gesture of, all the games are 1080-60 to justify his whole Twitch leaving. What he didn't tell you in that little story is he shut down his Twitch, didn't refund any of the subscriptions. He basically just fucking took everybody's money and was like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
Just shut down his channel.
This was, I believe, November. This was during Assassin's Creed Unity, because I remember the first thing that he played on YouTube was Assassin's Creed Unity, and yeah, so this was around that time, and yeah, there was basically no notice. It was just he was told you had to lower your bit rate, and he's like, fuck that, that's bullshit. All these other people aren't doing that, so why me? I mean, you can use the same argument for a speeding ticket, right? There's a lot of people that speed, but when they notice that you do it, they give you a ticket for speeding. And yeah, that's bullshit, but I mean, they're not fucking present, right? They don't know of everything. They can't see everything and be everywhere. So, yeah, I mean, oh, fuck that. You noticed me breaking the rules. That's bullshit. Those rules shouldn't exist. I mean, that's what they're doing. And you chose to go to Twitch. Twitch doesn't owe you the ability to stream at 1080-60 just because you feel like it. You have to do what is within their rules. When we were on Hitbox, and we would have loved to fucking have lower quality settings than to have people have to watch at 720p, and sometimes their internet couldn't handle it and shit like that. But they would have required us to partner with them, and we didn't want to. So we just made do with what we wanted. We would have loved to fucking just go on YouTube and have quality settings, but we do, different things that could be considered copyright and stuff and auto-flagged and shit, so we just did what we had to do. You got to make do. And Phil, he's a rebel. He's got to be the badass, and fucking he's been slamming Twitch for 2 years now. This is the latest of it, and this is mild compared to the shit he's been saying about Twitch for years.
No, he's just got to twist his story just to fit his agenda that he's spewing out right now. So he doesn't even bother with like, oh no, wait, this is what actually happened. Mm-hmm. It's sickening.
Yep. Anybody else before we move on? Lego.
Now, a lot of people have come to me and said, but Phil, people don't watch your videos for the video quality. They watch them for you. Yes and no. I don't believe. I think some people watch my videos for me. Some people watch it for the game. Some people watch it for the quality.
Just the quality? What?
This diverse viewer base of people who are watching for different reasons. There are not a lot of people who do as much gameplay as me who record and stream at the quality that I do it at all. In fact, I would say there's no one who does it at that quality and does it as much as I do. So I'm kind of the go-to source if you want to see the
you're the go-to
stuff,
source.
But also you want a lot of it. I'm the person to go to. So if I were to go back to Twitch, immediately all of my video quality will dip. And now that viewer base is gone. So wow, I'm back on Twitch. Will I see an increase? Nope, immediate dip because people are pissed because I got rid of that upgrade that I did 2 years ago to make my visual quality better.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
People were already watching you on Twitch.
No matter what. I cannot see a benefit of going back to Twitch. The only way I could see myself making out going back to Twitch is if I went over there and either, number one, I destroyed my YouTube business overnight. Just fuck it. Fuck DSP Gaming and fuck all that. I'm just going to be a professional Twitch streamer from now on. And I need a couple thousand people to come over with me daily and to all sub to me. And I'll just talk to you all day. And we'll shoot this shit while I pretend that I'm caring about the game that I'm playing when I really don't.
What?
And that'll be me. And that'll be the end of my YouTube 8 years of career. And instead, I'll be a Twitch streamer. I don't want...
Let's pause that one. And there's a great face for that. That's my reaction. What the fuck was that? Fizz, help me out here. What the fuck was that? So he has to destroy his personality. He has to pretend he cares about the game and pander to the audience. It's called fan interaction. It's not hard. It's really not hard. It's not hard to interact with the people that are in your stream chat and shit like that. This guy is over here saying that he has to nuke his YouTube business and shit like that. It's ridiculous. It's all straw man. It's all goalpost moving and fucking, oh, well, you want me to go back on Twitch, but I have to be a complete piece of shit asshole to go back on Twitch, and here's why. Ridiculous.
Like, even when he was on Twitch, he still had a YouTube. He streamed on Twitch, and then he uploaded the clips to YouTube. He could do the same fucking thing. He could stream on Twitch, upload the clips to YouTube. Nothing would change. But he thinks it's like one extreme or another. It's either, if I'm on YouTube, I can't be on Twitch. Or if I'm on Twitch, I can't be on YouTube. There's many streamers that stream on Twitch and upload clips to YouTube. It's not like you don't have to like choose one or the other. I mean, you can play different games on YouTube than you do on Twitch if you want to keep things differently. But just the idea of, this is defeated. I have to go back to this website I've been bad-mouthing for 2+ years. I just have to completely start new. No, you're going to fuck yourself up more if you just start new.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, my understanding is that you can do like a 1080p 6. You can do different quality settings for the stream and the recording. I think OBS Studio supports that now. But something I forgot to mention the last time we paused about this whole Twitch thing, his move to YouTube really decreased the quality of life for his stream attendees, didn't it? They had a nice... He always says, oh, the Twitch chat is just a skin version of IRC. Yeah, but it's way better. Instead of people having an @ symbol next to their name, they had a nice little sword and shit. Everybody had icons, emotes. People don't have emotes anymore. They can't be expressive. You have to get... In his IRC, you have to be approved before you can talk. Everyone starts at 0 and has to be granted the ability to talk. You know what I mean? And sometimes his mods don't even show up. It's such an unattractive thing to use. I don't like to use his chat. When I ever go there and I look at it, I don't want to use the fucking shit. And that's rarely, if ever. But even then, I don't even want to use it rarely. And when you look at screen caps from the shit, it just looks like shit. Like, the Twitch chat was awesome. And the Twitch chat was where people hang out. It's where they habitate when he's fucking, streaming and shit. They hang out, they chat in there. They have emotes and fucking different colors for their name. You can't do any of that. And they have to make do with this IRC. He's been saying for 2 years now that they're going to find a fucking solution and a better version. They're going to find some better solution to IRC. They haven't done shit. His webmaster Onyx, who, by the way, has gone completely silent in terms of having any sort of presence and just fucking toils behind the scenes like a fucking servant, hasn't done shit. The forums still look like shit. The webpage still looks like shit. All this stuff was just thrown together in a hurry back in the winter of 2014/2015. But that's when all this shit happened. When the forums went down and all this shit happened, like November, December, January. January is when he launched the website and all the shit. This is all 2 years old now. And there hasn't been fuck all for improvement. We're still on the same beta level shit that they fucking scrambled and put together all quick. There's been no improvement. What improvement has there been? Onyx, for all people, Phil say, oh, my webmaster and all this shit. Frankly, Onyx fucking sucks. He has not done shit. I mean, he really hasn't. He hasn't improved anything. And there's this theory that the Onyx account was given to somebody else. And Onyx actually just dipped because he got sick of the shit. Well, Onyx didn't continue. There's been no continuation. Everything is just, they built the house and they've made no renovations to it since then.
I mean, the forum is just a basic template. There's no work put in the forum. The whole reason he uses IRC is just to see IPs. Mike, if he didn't have the ability to see, I bet you anything, if Phil did not have the ability to see your IP, he would have moved from IRC years ago. I think that's the sole reason he's using that, because it's easily moderated. They have to voice everybody, and that they see your IP. So they know, who to ban, who gets banned, and everything like that. The forums, he pays $3,000 for the forums.
I think that's an exaggeration. I don't think that's real.
I don't think so either. But even then,
because there's different. I've seen different sites. I think Kiwi Farms, they want like $200 for their servers every year or some shit like that. I don't believe it. I don't know if it's $200 a month or $200 a year, but they're like, for example, Kiwi Farms, they get way more traffic than fucking Phil's site, and they want, I think it's $200 a year or a month. So that would translate to like 24. So I don't believe it.
No, but Phil, he's just gonna make up numbers to fit his whole thing, I get paid this, I pay this, But no, it's just he's lazy. He doesn't want to do any of the work. He doesn't want to find a better site. He wants to just do the least amount of work possible and for his quote-unquote business that he's struggling at.
And it's funny too, because you bring up the fact that the IPs, that's another thing that these fans have to deal with now, that the IRC is inherently less safe. when you're on Twitch, you can IP ban people, right? But you can't see their IPs. They're not exposed to you. When you go on the IRC, I believe it's visible to Phil, the other admins. You have to give them your IP address, your personal information to go on there. What kind of shit is that? That's not a good deal. And as a matter of fact, if you remember, when they first launched the IRC and they had fucking goofballs going in there and fucking giving out people's IP addresses and shit, like they thought it was funny. Dude, people were getting fucking their IPs dropped in the fucking chat, and people were looking up their personal information and shit. So, completely inadequate, and a complete decrease in the quality of life for these fucking people that attend his streams just because Phil wanted to fucking stomp his feet. Nah, I'm not gonna fucking abide by your rules. Fuck you.
I kind of like, personally, I kind of don't see, or I don't really understand how he can get away with that with like no problem, like just knowingly letting people have their personal information leaked against their will like that. Unknowingly.
They don't know. And the same thing happened on the forums when Onyx was reading all that was going in people's private messages and shit. People don't know these things. They just, there's like this sort of expectation that you should know. Like the onus is on the fucking consumer to know these things, but who really goes and fucking, like, who reasonably thumbs through every fucking line of a terms of service and shit like that? People just hope for the best, They think there's a sense of decency, but there isn't.
Is there a terms of service that you see when you go into his IRC?
That's a good question. Can someone check that?
Because in that case, how are you supposed to know that you're about to have your IP address leaked like that?
I don't know.
If there's no way for you to know, then to me that seems like Phil could be liable for that, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All right, we'll check on that. We'll give you an update, I guess, later. But we ready to continue? Let's do it.
I don't want to do that. I could do that. I don't want to do that. Just like I don't want to destroy my YouTube content and make it so different from what it's always been, because I know there's a fucking viewing market for what I do. The other thing I could do is I could go back to Twitch and only stream there like once or twice a week, and that would be my streaming, and that would be it. Like, whenever I stream a multiplayer game, I stream it on Twitch, and that's it, and I don't stream on YouTube at all. Because, by the way, you may not be aware of this, but there are agreements now that you cannot stream on both services. So if I stream on Twitch, I can't stream on YouTube, and if I stream on YouTube, I can't stream on Twitch. They don't
I want
let
to
you
see
do
if
it.
that's true or not. I don't know. I gotta ask around and
if you
see
want
if
to
that's
make money
true.
on their website,
It's only
you
true
can't stream on the other
for
one,
Twitch
they're all in
partners.
competition, and they don't want their
Alright.
competition to
For
benefit.
anyone else, they really don't care.
I couldn't do both either. That's the other thing. I have to make a choice. And right now, I have a viewer base who comes back on YouTube. So I don't know. But ultimately, I will say this. I'm sorry, and I know a lot of people love Twitch, and everyone's like, oh, but Twitch is the go-to. Twitch is the go-to place for streaming because they were in the right place at the right time. It's not because of their
Just like
business
you.
practices. It's not because of the quality of what they do. It's not because of any of that. It's just because they were
He
lucky.
could have been in the right place
That's
at the
it.
right time,
That's the only
but
reason
he
that Twitch
didn't.
is as popular
Like,
as
he
they are.
didn't
If
take
someone
advantage of
else
any of that.
had done the same thing they did.
Watch
before
Phil
they
describe
did,
himself
or at the
and his
same time
business.
They did, they would not be as popular. Because the bottom line is Twitch is a bad business.
Oh,
Twitch
just
is
like
not a
yours.
good place to put out quality content.
Just like
It's
your
not.
channel.
You are constantly nagged
Like
to
this video.
advertise and or push subs or product so that you can make money, and they'll make money, they get profit from that,
Like
and then you get
Patreon.
profit from that. You want to know why I know all of this? Because you might be saying, Phil talks about Twitch all the time, like he knows about it, but he hasn't been on Twitch for 2 years. They're so stupid, they never remove me from their email list. So every time that there's a new update for partners, I get it. And all the emails I get, they have not invested $1 into their actual business to make it better. They don't have higher quality streams. They don't have like much increased server capacity. You know what I mean? All the things why can't people stream at 1080p 60 frames per second on Twitch? Because they don't care about that. They don't care about the quality of the gameplay or even the quality of the stream. Why do you think there's so many titty streamers on Twitch who are girls with big ass fucking boobs hanging out and they barely can play a game, but they get tons of fucking money on Twitch and Twitch makes out? That's a big demographic for them to make profit because they don't care about the quality. If they did care about the quality, they'd stop telling you, oh, buy a t-shirt. Oh, here's a new kind of chat emote system, an exclusive emote thing, and this and that has nothing to fucking do with the stream. None of it has
Jeez.
anything to do with sitting there and playing the game on Twitch, which is what the fucking website was created to fucking do.
God,
in fact,
it's
if you
mad.
don't believe me, they changed their terms of service. Their
Jesus
terms of
Christ.
service and
Fucking
mission
pissed.
statement used to state that Twitch TV is the premier destination for gamers to share their gameplay experiences. It now says it's the premier destination for gamers to share their personalities with others. I'm not kidding. Like, it says that.
So they
It doesn't
evolved.
say
What the
exactly in
fuck?
that wording, but basically it says it's for interaction between a
Phil just
gamer
knows
and a
he doesn't have a
stream
likable
audience,
personality, so
not
he
about the
couldn't
game
change.
anymore. They don't care about that. They're terrible. They're a horrible business.
They don't care about
Streaming
the
in
games.
general. They're
He's
just bad.
slandering
They
them.
don't care about actual games. They don't care about what you put on your stream
Wow.
as long as this is coming into them. Why do you think when there's people on
Oh,
stream
kinda like
faking
you,
getting
Phil?
fucking
Let's-
swatted,
Yeah, exactly like Phil.
that they give him a slap on the wrist and let him back the next day because he was a top earner? Fake swatting. Making a joke out of people getting almost shot and killed
Oh,
by
okay, that guy
police
who got-
because
that guy
of
who got fake
assholes
swat on
pranking
Twitch, I
them,
think he got banned from
right?
Twitch.
And oh, it's a prank to call the police and say that someone's dying in your house. Oh yeah, it's real fun. It's all fun and games till it fucking happens to you like it did to me. And let me tell you, that shit ain't fucking funny. If I ever find out who the fuck did that to me, there's gonna be serious consequences. They're lucky that they're a little
Ooh.
coward and they hide behind the fucking internet.
Ooh, shit.
That is so insane. It's
Damn,
a joke
shooting.
about it like it's funny, but that person's back the next day. And that's just one example. There's been all these numerous
Pause.
things that have happened on
Yeah.
Twitch.
You know, Phil made it into a huge joke about him getting swatted. Oh, the cops came and we talked outside and it was hilarious and they were just laughing about it. And I
Yeah.
called them a few months before when I first moved to Seattle, and this was something I warned them about. He made it into a big joke, and then he gets swatted, and then he makes it even into a bigger joke. And it's like, oh, look, I got swatted, and he left the video up. If this was such a big deal to him, he wouldn't have let that swatting video stay up. He wouldn't have let it be there. So
Yeah.
he's the one making it into such a huge joke, but we're the ones that held the gun to his head. And anyone who makes it, this is how you don't play, put a gun to his head and almost got him and his full-time girlfriend shot.
By the way, if you guys remember, Machinima actually put ads on the video I put up of the increased audio of him getting swatted. So they're actually pulling a little. The only people to profit off of that shit is Machinima. So maybe he should have a word with them because they're pinching a few pennies off of the fact he got swatted. He's just gonna grandstand about it. He's gonna bitch and complain. He's oh well, you know, this guy fucking that guy. It's so fortunate for Phil that event happened because that is the trophy that he'll hold up. That is the poster child of like Twitch's bullshit. Is this guy fucking joked around about getting swatted and I got swatted? Fuck that. Listen, Twitch is a business, right? Why is it like surprising to you that they're evolving? They're evolving and they're still here. Twitch, when you look up Twitch, you can search by game. He's saying Twitch doesn't care about the game. You can search. One of the major things you're presented with is on Twitch, what game do you want to watch people play? You know? And yeah, Twitch has evolved to be about the personality. People have, you know, sort of, the entertainer has come out of people. That they're given this platform to fucking do the shit. And it is a lot about the culture of Twitch's donations and interaction and shit like that. But that doesn't mean that you have to fall into that model. You can run your Twitch channel however we want. We're on Twitch. We've done several streams on Twitch. Have we fucking done that shit? Ask people for donations. Oh, you know, this shit. We interact with people and we do the same streams that we would have done on Hitbox. Like, it's up to you. We could stream on Hitbox, YouTube, Stream Up. We've streamed on so many different platforms, and you've still we didn't change who we are based on the platform. So this guy's just full of shit. He's acting like whatever he has to do, he has to maximize profit, and that's the behavior he's going to take on. But that's a choice. He can go on and he can do his streams just like he does them on YouTube and benefit from the fact that there's a subscription system and emotes and shit like that. He doesn't have to just pander to people, but he acts like he has to. And that's his excuse not to go to Twitch is, oh, I mean, I have to completely change who I am and become a fraud, so fuck that. And that's a jab at all the people that are on Twitch and to say they're dishonest people and they're not doing it legit like me and yada, yada, yada. It's sad. It's actually sad that he has to resort to that.
I mean, he got better audience on Twitch. He would have gotten paid better on Twitch. Like, think he realizes, leaving Twitch, even for some asinine thing of like, oh, I can't stream it at my bit rate, whatever. Because he left Twitch, he's not getting the same audience as he is on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
He would have still been, I don't want to say like successful, but he would have gotten, better audience on Twitch. And he moved off of Twitch, and now like every chance he gets, it's like the worst site ever.
It is. It's yeah. He just wants to slam Twitch all the time and say he's above it, and he's waking up. I'm enlightened. I know what's really going on. Fuck Twitch, So, all right, are we ready to continue? We're in the home stretch here. This has been we've gone longer than we expected, but
Oh boy.
we're gonna get it done. We got 15 minutes left in the video, so that probably translates to another 6 hours, but we can do this.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, let's continue.
That are just ridiculous. And it just proves time and time again that business is made solely for money. And that's it. Hold on.
Isn't that what all business is made for? To make money?
My girlfriend
I
just
thought
texted
so.
me from work.
My girlfriend
So, yeah,
just
that's all
texted
they
me.
are.
She
They
said,
don't
"You better
care
not
about
be
the
fucking
quality
up
of
the
anything.
business and
Why
yelling
do you
at
think they
people." She's
give
watching
the highest quality.
Oh,
to
it's
the
not a
highest streams,
stream,
and they
but
don't complain when they stream at higher bit rates, because it was actually brought up. This is an important point. Someone was or a lot of Overwatch streamers realized that putting it at 720p the game looks like shit. So they started streaming at 1080p 60 frames per second, and when that game was highly popular this year, Twitch did nothing. Because those people were bringing in tons of money for them. And then other people who were streaming the game, their streams looked like shit, and they looked at the bitrate of these higher level streamers and saw that the bitrate was higher than what they were supposed to be allowed to do, and they went and complained. And they got the runaround from Twitch. Oh, we just didn't catch it. It's okay. Even though people reported those streams for having a higher bitrate, they were never shut down because they were bringing
How
in
do you
tons
know
of money.
about that? Were you
Fuck
the one
that.
reporting
I'm not
them?
going to be a part of that. At
How
least
do you
on
know
YouTube,
that
all the
they were getting
bullshit
reported?
that YouTube fucking has tossed my way over the years.
Where's the proof?
I know
Like,
at least
he
I can
makes all
upload
these
videos
wild
I
claims
can
and has
stream,
no proof
and I have
whatsoever.
no fucking favoritism. You know what I mean? I could put out the highest quality stuff that I want, and I don't have to worry about this favoritistic bullshit and bullying and being pressured to do things on my fucking streams and channels that I don't want to fucking do. I mean, that is the worst. If every day I had to basically be something I don't want to be and work for a business that I don't stand behind,
He's thinking like Twitch fucking
The
makes
bottom line
you
is, I'm
do
not going
stuff
back
you
to
don't
Twitch.
want to do.
It's not going to happen.
Makes no sense.
So many people who seem to think Twitch streaming is like this amazing thing for gamers, it's not. It's not.
It's not.
Once again, it's the hype.
It's the
bullshit
premier
that people buy
destination
into
for
all this
gaming
time.
content.
And
What
it's
the
just
fuck
not
are
gonna
you
help
talking
if I
about?
go back over there. All
All
right.
right, whatever, Phil.
So-
All right.
Now I've talked at length in this video about all this stuff.
Yeah, you bitched about a lot of stupid shit.
Right now, I'm happy because obviously I'm getting a little bit of boost in ad revenue.
You look so
And I'm
happy.
getting a little bit of
Obviously
boost
not.
He
on-
looks
you
so
are
happy.
unhappy.
Doesn't he look happy? Look
Does
at
this
his face.
mean if this keeps up that I can keep
Looks
doing
fucking
this full time?
defeated
I don't
is what
know.
he looks like.
I mean, more than likely, yeah, I will make a little bit of extra money here at the end of the year, but it's not going to be what I used to make. If Patreon could make up for that, then yeah. But
Yeah,
the
thousands
thing is,
of
right, even with the
dollars.
50-some people
He
who
looks
gave
scared.
pledges who normally wouldn't have, that's not enough to save me. I need
I used to just mean he looked
hundreds
legitimately
in
scared.
order to even see any kind of a significant.
Well, he knows the
move towards what I
beatdown
was
Leanna's
making
gonna
so I
give
could
him when
pay
she
my
gets home
bills
after
and still
she
be
finds
here,
out about
you know
this
what I
video.
mean?
She's gonna fuck
So
him
thank
up
you to
when
those
she
who
gets
did
home.
pledge. Thank you to those who did turn off their ad
Yeah, throw
blockers
him
and
down
helping
the
me out.
stairs.
Maybe those who spreading the word. I don't know.
Now,
But
what do you tell the
thank you.
fans when
Thank
they
you for
see your
watching this
black
video.
eye?
What I
like
will do is I'll
Phil?
try to have a periodic update. Not too often, but maybe every once in a while, maybe once a month till the end of the year, so you know what's going on with me and my business, so that you obviously are in the know.
He's gonna
And you're
put
not, "Gee, I wonder
monthly
if Phil's gonna be
updates.
here tomorrow. I don't
Monthly
know. Is Phil gonna be here
bitches.
next year. I don't know. Because people are still asking, Phil, are you going to be playing this game next year? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be in this house next year. That's the reality of it, you know? I don't know.
Damn.
Right now, I'm narrowly paying my bills.
He's-
Right now, and I'm not even
sounds
exaggerating.
defeated.
Right
Like,
now, I'm hoping
depressed
that there's
just
enough
even
money
saying
in my
that.
bank
Let's hear this.
account to clear and pay my bills this month coming up in November. It's going to depend on how much money I actually get out of Patreon for this month. So we'll see.
Okay,
And if
pause
things
on that
don't
one.
go through.
Hold
I'm
on.
probably going to have to go borrow money from my
Where's
parents,
my
which
fucking
I've already
click?
done in the
All right,
past.
go. All right, let's fucking pause on that one. He's saying that he needs to wait to see how much money clears from his Patreon right now in order to be able to pay his bills. I feel like that's an exaggeration. I feel like it's just a way to make it more this guy would have been selling things by now. Whatever happened to him selling the statues? You know what I mean? He's still got a ton of like statues that he's not selling and shit. Where is the desperation other than just fucking pressuring people to give him free money? Like, have we seen him cut back? He was just fucking posting up him eating crab and lobster and shit or whatever a couple days before all this shit started. Like, that's why it's hard. Part of me wants to believe him because why would he go this step to sell his dignity out to do this? But it's just part of me. I don't see action. I see a lot of words that correspond with this, but I don't see a lot of action that goes with this. You know, if he really was so strapped for cash that he wasn't going to be able to pay his bills and not able to pay his taxes to the point where he's going to get in trouble with the IRS and they're really going to fuck him sideways, then he would be selling those statues. He would be downgrading the fucking BMW to something more reasonable, given that he doesn't even fucking drive it. Why does he need a BMW? You can just get some fucking basic car, a fucking Ford, whatever the shit, and just drive that around. They don't need to be seen in style.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the taxes on his BMW are probably, like, sky high.
And the insurance.
He barely drives it.
And the insurance, too. And he pays his own medical insurance and shit. You know, Leanna works part-time, so I don't think her employer gives her medical insurance. You know, there's a lot of shit that he can be doing that I just don't see right now. So for him to say, like, oh, my bills this month are dependent on how much money comes out of the Patreon, I don't know if that's a stunt or not. I don't know. I can't just give 100%. I can't lean 100% in either direction, but I don't know. It just seems a little off, that statement. Like, I don't even know if I can pay my bills. You were already going to base your bills off of, like, you didn't see any of this coming at all? You didn't prepare for this? And again, you know, he could fucking sell those statues. Those shits should be, he gave up on that a while back. Those shits should be getting sold. TBH.
Even then, there we go. Even then, with all this, you know, he lets his audience know it's like, oh, I'm in dire straits. I don't know if I want to make bills. Does his audience even need to hear this? Do you want to go to your favorite YouTuber and, you know, hear, oh, I'm not be able to pay my house payment. I can't pay my car payment. I may have to refinance my house and so on and so forth. He's basically guilt-tripping the fans. Like, again, he's shifting the blame. This is not my fault that I've made all these terrible financial decisions. Mm-hmm. This is all your fault because you're not watching my video. I mean, we have some people, like, and I've seen the chat logs on this too, that they basically tell Phil, it's like, yeah, I just put a playlist of yours while I'm sleeping or while I'm in university class or anything like that, just to earn Phil easy money. But it's like, you got to find like one extreme or the other. And, you know, this is not the viewer's fault. It's Phil's. He's not making the entertaining content to justify this whole bitching about financials.
You mean to tell me that there are people that are like just letting his videos run constantly and watching ads?
Yes, that is a thing. I've heard people say that before.
Is a thing.
Oh my god.
That's ridiculous. That's
evil.
That is the highest level of cucketry I've ever heard, dude. Jesus Christ. Well, all right. Thank you for that nugget of it. I did not hear that. So that is news to me.
Same here.
That is unbelievable. Wow. All right. Anything else before we move on? All right, let's go.
I might have to do it again, which they don't have a lot of money to borrow. I might have to take out a big loan, and that's going to be terrible because that's going to ruin my credit. You know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to have to do.
Get a job. He hasn't said that one.
I really want to keep doing this. The way that I've been doing it for 8 years, I want to provide you with the uncut gameplay so you know exactly what that experience is. I want to make an edited video for you, a nice, highly, edited, informative review that hits upon all these important points. That's not a 5-second review like all these stupid mainstream media do, but also doesn't have to have stupid dressing up in comedy skits. That's the other thing. Well, Phil, you know, Angry Joe makes these videos, and they're so good because he dresses up and there's comedy skits in them. And if you were just not lazy and you actually worked your ass off like Joe, you'd be able to be popular on YouTube. Or maybe I don't want to dress up and be a comedian. Did you ever think of that? Because I could have been that. maybe I tried that. Did you see the original Hateful Truths back in the day? The first few had that. And after doing it a few times, I was like, I think I would rather just do a better, more well-informed review. To me, it sounds like a better video. And you know what?
Because you didn't have the charisma. You didn't have the entertaining personality.
You don't have to sit through comedy that you might or might not like. You don't have to sit through this skit. You know, that is the truth. I never found, on YouTube, I never found this huge gimmick. You know, for PewDiePie, it was screaming at the camera like a little girl, and everyone laughs because he sounds like a little pussy, right? For Angry Joe, it's because he dresses up and does comedy skits, and he puts tons of time and effort into his reviews, but let's face it, why does he get those views? Because he dresses up and does comedy skits. That's why, not because of the review, because it's a
how dare someone try to make their videos
that's
funny?
fluff. That's why people watch this shit on YouTube, and
How
I've
dare
never
people
made a
put effort in their
video.
videos?
All right, let's pause the roo on that one. So, all right, go ahead, have at it.
The nerve of this guy, seriously.
Okay, so I want to say this. Phil says that he doesn't have a gimmick. He's never been able to find a gimmick. Well, he's the king of hate, right? That's a gimmick. He fucking insults the game developers, right? That's a gimmick. He fucking insults the game and says everything else is everyone else's fault. You remember that Twitch stream? I swear to you guys, this was a thing. I don't know where it is, but I remember a Twitch stream where he said flat out, don't you guys know that when I blame the game and shit, that it's a gimmick? It's this joke that goes back from the arcades where I used to do that, and I used to blame the stick and the cabinet for why I would fuck up. That you guys don't know that that's a joke? He did that. I remember that, and that was like a big revelation for people somehow. I mean, and I remember this. I don't know where that video is. I don't know if it was a video uploaded to YouTube, but I remember vividly seeing that on Twitch. He has gimmicks, and some of his gimmicks are ones that he doesn't want for himself. One of his gimmicks is that he fucking masturbated on a stream. One of his gimmicks is that he's a fucking asshole to his fans. One of his gimmicks is that he's incredibly bad at video games. So there you go. He has gimmicks. He doesn't like any of the gimmicks that he has. But one of the gimmicks he made for himself is the king of hate. And don't give me that bullshit about, I use the hate and I use it to fuel me. It's because he's a hateful person. He would spew venomous shit about other players in multiplayer. Talk about the fucking game developers being retards and stupid shit like that. Oh, they should fucking die. That was the king of hate shit. And this fucking new shit that he had, I use the hate to fuel me like some sort of photosynthesis. I'm a rocket ship. And all. No, that's not correct. And you could tell going back. No, he uses the hate to sustain him and drive him forward. You know what I mean? Gives him energy.
You can tell every time he insults the game developers, threatens people with physical violence. You can tell he really means that stuff. Mm-hmm. I remember he was playing Battlefield 1 earlier today, and people were saying, the game runs at 60 frames per second. You know, there's no frame drops, from our side. He's like, you guys are fucking idiots. I wish I could punch you through the internet. Remember that? He really meant that.
What a fucking
You could tell by the tone of his voice. He really wished he could have beaten the crap out of those people who were saying that to him.
Yeah. He's got gimmicks. Definitely. He just isn't comfortable with them.
Because nothing is his fault. He can do no wrong. Like, all these people, like, he said before that he, quote-unquote, inspired PewDiePie. But the thing is, PewDiePie puts an effort. He branches out, He's gone with the times, edited videos and all that jazz and everything like that. Phil doesn't do any work. For the longest time, Phil was just basically upload, no editing whatsoever. Like, who's going to watch 15 videos a day just to catch up on a playthrough when you can just watch one highly edited video a week and get more views, more subscribers, more engagements? Because people are going to be like, oh, this guy actually put in time and effort in this particular video. And Phil's like, nope, that's not the way to do it. I can't be like Angry Joe because I can't dress up because I don't have any money. But no, because Joe's
your Phil impression is pretty good. Just sounds like a drunk fucking ship captain and shit. What the hell was that? I can't fucking know.
I can't fucking lianas on my ass. I fucking just sit here. I need my ball.
That Phil impression is far better than mine. God damn.
That's the best Phil impression I think has ever been recorded on fucking on tape. That is ridiculous.
Jesus
Yeah, look
Christ.
at his face right now on screen. Yeah, that's his face reacting to Fizz's impression.
Yeah, he's flabbergasted.
Yeah.
But
God damn, I'm gonna get my gin. Lost my fucking train of thought. God damn
yeah,
it.
he does. He drinks an old timely fucking gin and everything. God damn.
Phil the captain.
Yeah, he's
Captain Phil.
definitely he's captaining a fucking sinking ship. I'll tell you what. So, is there anything else before we continue on?
Well, going back to him hating on Angry Joe and PewDiePie and all that, it's just going back to him hating on Five Nights at Freddy's. He's insulting the people who like these other YouTubers, these other genres, these other kind of things. Well, if you like them, you're a fucking idiot because you don't like me. And so it's just going back to that again. And I just, yeah.
All right, let us continue.
I mean, maybe that's my problem, because everything I do is actually worthwhile and can teach you something, and you can learn something, from a video that I put out there. Maybe that's why I'm not popular, because people aren't looking for information and for quality. They're looking for fluff, and they're just looking to fucking
teach us.
I don't know, I just don't get
He
it.
teaches us how not
I
to
don't
play
get it.
games.
I could be here for 8 years, busting my ass.
Yeah.
Feels lazy. He doesn't make Angry Joe level reviews.
No, you're lazy. You
If I
don't
did
edit
Angry
your
Joe level
fucking
review,
videos.
Not only would I be spending thousands of dollars per video, I'd
No,
need
he
people
doesn't
to make
spend
it, 'cause guess what?
thousands
He
of
doesn't make
dollars.
those by himself, and I'd be playing probably 1/5 of the amount of games that I do now. So is that what you want? You just want me to
Yes.
stop altogether covering all the new games and the games that I enjoy and doing streams, and instead you just want me to fucking do edited videos with comedy skits in them? I don't know. I don't think there's a solution. I don't think there's an easy solution or easy determination
Pause a
of what
second.
is the right
Okay.
or wrong.
That was the solution. What Phil just said was the solution. People aren't going to watch his videos when he's uploaded 35,000 videos, plays every game, and then start bitching of like, oh, we didn't get the views. All right, I'm going to move to a different game. Like, one, I'm not going to, like, you go to his channel every week, and you see that he's playing 5 games that whole week. Maybe a couple multiplayer streams, maybe a couple of this. No one's going to have the time and energy to, like, check on his playthrough every day. It's like, oh, I really like this Mafia 3 playthrough, but he hasn't played it in 4 days. I just lost all interest. He's not focusing on anything. He's not editing, But no, this is the downfall. This is I can't edit my stuff. I can't spend $1,000. No, it's you just gotta get that focus to edit your videos, and he's just thinking of everything else and not working with it.
Mm-hmm. Anything else before we move on? Yeah?
Thing to do in a situation like this. And admittedly, a lot of people say I'm stubborn and I'm unwilling to change. Yes and no. I'm willing to change to a point. I was willing to adopt direct capture after some convincing, live streaming after some convincing.
Some
I
convincing?
was
You mean
willing to do edited
years?
videos after some convincing.
Years?
But I don't want to change the entire fucking point of my videos. I mean, if that is the case, and that's what it takes to be successful in business, I'm no better than GE. General Electric.
Oh, here we go.
I'll end the video like this.
Some story from
All right?
1912 and shit.
Jack Welch. I think that was his name. Jack Welch. He became the CEO of GE, General Electric, this major American corporation that was well known worldwide for creating great high quality electronics.
Okay.
Appliances.
They still do make
things around
electronics,
your
don't they?
house. Anything you could think of that was electronic, they would make it. But for some reason,
Yeah,
the
they
company
do.
was failing. I don't know because I didn't do too much research in that.
No,
regard
you
of
didn't,
why
but
they
you're
were
still going to fucking give the
Jack
story,
Welch
right?
said, well,
Never does research. What are you
since
talking
we're
about?
failing as a company manufacturing electronics, we're going to become a finance company. And I'm not joking. He transformed the company into a finance company. He fired most of his staff. So most people who worked for General Electric over the years and became these really valuable employees for electronics were all fired and laid off. He hired finance people. He took all the money that the company had and put it into backing a finance company, and he became a successful finance company. Okay? Now, there's people that love Jack Welch. They think that he's a transformative genius, and they think that he's one of the smartest people on the planet because he saw that this was a dying effort, and he's like an idol for people in the business world. You know what I call Jack Welch? A fucking coward. a fucking
Wow.
heartless piece of shit.
Wow.
He
Damn.
was put into a position of power, and just because he had that power, he quit, and he took the easy way out. He saw that the trend was, what's popular right now? Finance. So fuck electronics, let's make a finance firm.
They
And he won by default.
still make a lot of
because
electronics.
he turned his company into what was popular with the money he
As far as
had,
into Home
rather than
Depot, I
trying
see
to
a
actually
lot of
improve
stuff
and or
made
make
by
an
General
electronics company
Electric there.
work.
Yeah.
I like gaming. I like playing video games. I like
He's
sharing
a
those
coward
raw
for making a
experiences with you
smart
because that's how I
business
enjoyed the
decision.
game, playing it raw and not faking
realizing
it for
something
you.
was going
but
out
I
and he
also
needs to
love
change it.
sharing my opinions on that game.
Why
my
did you even bring up
informed
the
opinion.
comparison?
Let's pause that. So he's saying that General Electric was turned from an electronics and appliances company to a finance company. That's not correct at all. They still do those things.
Yes.
What he means to say is that they branched out and did more things, and they're fucking cowards for that. Apparently, they didn't give
Yeah.
up the original business. They just expanded their horizon so that they would be successful at a broader field of things and offer more goods or services. This motherfucker is over here like, oh, they're cowards for that, shit like that. He's acting like the company completely changed and abandoned the fucking electronics and appliances.
No, and he's what he's doing is he's trying to justify this whole thing. This whole video is, I want to make more money, but I don't want to change. Jack Welch made a smart business decision, changed and was successful at it. But instead, he's a fucking coward because he didn't stick with one thing for 8 years and pound it into everybody and hope that it worked when it proved that it didn't. That's a coward. That's not a smart business decision, apparently, according to Phil. Like, oh, I'm sorry. For 8 years, I've been doing it the same style, and I've been being the same person and pounding it into my fans. Why am I not successful? Why am I not generating profit? Why am I not changing with the times when I could at several points? At least I'm not a coward.
Changing and evolving makes you less of a person. That's why him changing would make him less of a YouTuber, less of an important person on YouTube.
Like I said this before when we were recording this, the point of a business is to make the most money as possible. And they saw General Electric, Jack Welch, they saw, finance was taking off, and that's why they branched out into it. They tried to change. And like you guys said, Phil, because he's so stubborn and he refuses to change, it's finally coming back to bite him.
I don't know. I'm looking up this fucking story. I don't see anything about it. I'm like on the Wikipedia and shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know where he heard this story or if his dad told. I don't know what the fuck this story came from, but like, his interpretation of it is bizarre, to say the least. I haven't said the word bizarre in years. That was bizarre. Like, oh, the way you should interpret that is the reason this fucking asshole fucking, dude, you know how many jobs was created by GE? He's saying that people were fired at that point. Dude, this guy's out of his mind. It's been a Fortune 500 company for how long? I don't know. I don't even know where to. I can't even address this as something like reasonable. So I don't know. They make $140 billion a year. So I don't know. I guess they were smart somewhere. Should we continue? Let's show.
Later
home
as a
stretch,
review.
might as well.
I do like talking to you every once in a while in a video like I'm doing right now. I enjoy all of these
Begging
things,
for donations?
all right?
That's what you enjoy?
I don't want to be a comedian. I don't want to be an entertainer, a cosplayer, a fucking skit maker.
You've
a
done all
video
those
editor,
things.
A fucking, you know what I mean? Anything that these
I don't
people
want to
do,
be a
this is
skit
what's popular
maker.
on YouTube.
I guess
That's
just
not what
Project
I want.
7.
And I don't need to be
Really throwing
popular
that out
on
the door.
YouTube. I don't care about getting 1 million subs and having people donate the fuck out of everything to me. I don't care about any of that.
But
I
you
just
do.
want enough to pay my
He
bills,
wishes he could do that stuff.
to have a little life here with my girlfriend Leanna, and to keep sharing my experiences with you daily. That's all I want. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be fucking famous. I don't want the world. I
Then
just
why'd
want
you buy a
something that's little
BMW and a
reasonable.
freaking
The
400K
The bottom line is, for 8 years,
house?
I've been able to do that. And I think that it's just a combination
You've
of
been
shitty
living above your
circumstances
means. How is that reasonable?
combined with some really nasty fucking people
Oh
who
yeah.
are just
Hi.
so mad that I don't follow the YouTube norms.
Yeah, that's
and
why
that
we're.
I may have said a few
Yeah.
inflammatory things over the years that really got
Yeah, it's not because you're toxic or
and they just
anything.
want to
No,
see
it's
me fucking
no,
die
it's just
and
'cause you're
burn.
jealous.
That's why we exist,
Sorry that
because he said a couple things and he doesn't follow norms.
Because I've never been to that mentality. There's plenty of people
You've
out there
never
that I
talked
don't
to
like,
us.
that I
How
don't
would
think
you
deserve
understand us?
popularity or fame, but I don't actively seek them out to hurt them because I am a mature and intelligent fucking adult.
Oh,
And I'm not nuts.
Yeah, right.
That's the bottom line.
he's not nuts.
All I want to do is continue
Mature.
to do YouTube. And I don't want to sacrifice 8 years of something.
This guy's
that I
maturity
put my life into.
never
8 years of
evolved past
sacrifice.
maybe,
Again,
I wanna say middle
friendships
school.
broken. People I don't even talk to anymore, who I used to be close friends with, gone because of YouTube.
Because the way you
And
treated
I made
them.
those sacrifices building a legacy. I want to stand by that. I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I want to be that true to form person who said, I made it and I could still do this as a job because I stuck to my guns and I found creative ways to avoid the fact that, yeah,
By
95%
begging.
of people who watch gaming on YouTube are fucking idiots and they want to go see these stupid fake videos that are paid advertisements rather than actually see someone who does something real and worthwhile. I still want to be able to do that, and I don't know. I mean, I'm being so threatened by what's going on right now.
Are you?
So, to end this, if you really do want to help,
Patreon.
Number
Nobody
one,
said it was never
keep
his
watching the
fault.
videos. Number 2, please like the videos. I know I never used to say that before, but liking the videos.
You've said that
helps.
before.
Number
What are you
3,
talking about?
Please consider pledging to my Patreon. Patreon.com/darksidephil. For as little as $1 a month, it actually helps me. You'd be surprised. With the amount of people now that have pledged $1 a month, it's going to help. And if I can get even more, maybe I don't have to worry about
Why'd
this
he
shit
grab
anymore,
his phone with
okay?
that?
He always represents the internet with his phone.
Please. Give me
Like when he talks about the
I need
internet as a
better
broad
perks for
concept, he
Patreon to
picks
get
up
more
his
people
phone.
to pledge. I need a suggestion. What should I
Okay.
do about the streaming and the videos? Like, what do I do? Because
Get a job.
when YouTube is
That's-
telling
that's
me
a pretty
everything
good
I'm
one,
doing
right?
in their statistics, in their analytics, you're great. Better engagement, more likes,
And
more
less
shares,
views.
Everything you're doing is in the
Don't
green,
forget less
good,
views.
And I'm not making as much money. It's something wrong here. There's a disconnect.
There's less
And
views.
without sacrificing my entire
There's a
business of
disconnect.
what I
It's called
do
Phil being disconnected from
and
reality.
losing my own fucking self-respect, I want to be able to still make a living.
Self-respect.
How do I
I'm
do
just
it?
going to beg
I
for
need to know.
donations
I
for an
need
hour.
Suggestions, and I know some people are going to watch this video and just say it's more of Phil being a pig-headed, stubborn asshole
Yep. Mm-hmm.
who won't change. And you know what? I will never change the minds of some people. Some people will just say, you know what? You know, a lot of other people
He isn't
don't do
gonna
it
change.
anymore.
Remember his
Change,
three-pronged
but Phil's
approach
still
at the
here,
beginning
and
of
he
the
still
year?
Yeah,
does
that
the same
three-pronged
thing.
plan
He's
fucking
popular.
fell on its face.
Maybe because it's on principle. Maybe because I think that what I'm doing is good.
Yeah,
Why?
that
Message
plan
I've gotten from people
definitely
over the years
failed.
saying that what I do is
Why
so
does he think it's
meaningful to
good?
them,
I don't
and
understand.
that they can, get not only information and quality and meaning out of what I do, but also that there's days when they just watch my stuff and it allows them to feel better about themselves and some of the heartfelt stuff I've heard from people. 8
Yeah, 'cause
years.
when I
it's
watch
a
you,
long
I know
fucking
I'm
time of my
way,
life.
a
I'm
way
only
better
34
gamer.
years old.
I can feel better
So,
about
a quarter
myself.
of my life has been on YouTube at this point, and it means a lot, okay, to keep being able to do this. So I need help, and I need to know what it is that I should be doing, and obviously making a video like this to explain the situation and appeal to you is the best way to go about it, all right, everyone. I now need to go work on other stuff, like my reviews and stuff. I literally am now 20 minutes over when I should have been working on a review to make this video. But I hope
that
now you
10-minute
realize how
video
serious
turned
the
into an
situation
hour.
is.
Yes, it did.
Okay. And the last thing that I need to end this, because well, Phil shouldn't
This
have
guy
done
really
this,
likes to hear
shouldn't
himself
have done
talk.
this,
That's
shouldn't
something
have
I've
done,
noticed.
shouldn't have spent, shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's the past. Now I need to know what to do moving forward, not what I should have done 2, 3. Yeah, if I had known stuff like this would have happened, people would have been so fucking nasty to me and hurt me so badly last year with those copyright strikes and things like would have turned out. Yeah, I would have spent less money. I would not have furnished the house the way
No,
I
you
did.
wouldn't
I
have.
probably maybe would have got cheaper. I don't know. Too late for that. Now that's in the past. That's fucking dust in the wind. Now it's time to focus on the positive and the present.
the positive.
What can I do now?
It's
To
affecting
get
the
people
president.
motivated to pledge to Patreon, to
Past
watch the
Kip-
videos,
past
to get stuff
Phil
going
is
again.
killing
Because
present
getting
Phil.
YouTube videos and YouTube search ain't gonna happen. Going to Twitch ain't gonna happen. And I don't want to change my entire fucking
Ain't
business
gonna
model
happen.
just to make money and keep doing this. But what can I do then? All right. Thank you for listening. I hope this video explained everything. Hopefully in a month's time, if I'll make another follow-up video like this for you, it'll be good news. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Thanks to those who pledged. And thank you to those who are thinking of pledging. Thank you to those who are watching my videos. Whether you're a new person watching, you're a person who's been here for the past 8+ years. I appreciate it. And hopefully we can keep this going.
By giving me money.
Thanks for listening, everyone. I'm off. See you soon.
Donate a lot. Oh boy. So
Jesus.
that was a lot to take in. Geez. What do we even say? Where do we begin? Fuck. So
One of those final statements that he made where he said that I've now spent a quarter of my life on YouTube, that was depressing as fuck to hear, to me at least.
yeah. Here's something that I'll ask you guys. So he talked about he needs all these suggestions, solutions. He needs to take desperate measures. He needs to do these things. Have you guys heard him in this video once mention anything about a job?
No.
Nope.
He goes out of his way in this video to not use the word job, to not even hint at the possibility that he could gain employment in any other way. He has made sure that he is not going to even call into question in this video that he could get a job. He has he's made it, and now he expects the discourse to not include him getting a job because he refuses. He will not. The thing is that the bubble is burst and that this YouTube shit is done with. He's not going to be able to continue to do this, I'm sure. Even if he limps through another year, right? He cannot just continue to do this forever. And he wants to put off this job. The job is the kryptonite. The job is the thing that he refuses to do. He didn't even mention it this time. He didn't even mention getting a job. He didn't even bother fucking telling people why he couldn't get the job. That to me was surprising. So what do you guys think? Any other final thoughts before we get out of here? This was a long one. We went a little longer than we expected.
Yeah, get a job, Phil.
Oh.
I liked in the video the faces that we caught.
Yeah, that people are going to enjoy those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are good.
And the other thing too that I like you remember the part where you guys were talking about like Phil like becoming a stripper on camera or something? Remember that?
No, fuck you.
Tyler, shut up.
That was a pretty good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna get the fuck out of here. All right. So for myself, Mr. Fezfuck, Mr. Table, Mr. Bender, Mr. Fizz, Miss Prideful. We love you. Go fuck yourselves. Good night.
Adios.
See ya.
Yeah.
Later.